At Community First Credit Union, there's a lot to see. We build customized financial solutions so you can enjoy the life you want. We make it comfortable to have a conversation about what's important to you, like helping you stay on course to reach your savings goal. And what's important to us all, like helping to support causes that count. See for yourself what See First can do for you.
If you want to save more.
If you want a butcher who knows more.
If you want fewer aisles and more value.
Less quantity, more quality.
If you want more of this.
And this.
And this.
This is Fairway, and this is how we do more.
Putting our all into meat and grocery.
Putting our all into meat and grocery.
Putting our all and more into meat and grocery.
With 16 bays and several trained technicians, Bill & Ray's operates the finest diesel engine repair and towing service in Southeast Iowa. They perform complete engine repair, electronic diagnostics on all types of engines, drivetrain rebuilding, fleet service, and motor coach repair, along with 24-hour wrecker service with no limit on travel radius. Bill & Ray's will get you back on the road. Bill & Ray's, Highway 23 Oskaloosa, and proud supporter of Oski Indians activities.
My name is Amanda Seeley, and I've been coming to Dr. Schuster's office for 15 years now. I'm a mother of 3 little boys, and since having them, they've been coming to Dr. Schuster's office in Oski Dental. It's been really seamless. I expected a little few hiccups, but he just has this approach that they're very comfortable again. You're the best! We're going to shoot for being a lifelong patient.
Every morning before my family and I head out the door for the day, we tell each other to be the one. It's a challenge we make to each other to step up and show kindness when we have the opportunity. I'm Mike Sitzma, funeral director here at Bates Funeral Chapel. I see families in some of their toughest times. However, I get to see our community at its best through the outpouring of love and support they show those affected by loss. I challenge you to join me and my family to look for opportunities daily to be the one.
This is more than a bundle. It's more than a combo deal. It's not just stuff. This is your home, your car. And you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance. State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here.
Call State Farm agent Wendell Campbell at 641-673-4462.
Come experience Penn Central Mall. With a variety of shops, services, restaurants, and more, Penn Central is the place to go for all your shopping and entertainment needs. Grab a gourmet grilled cheese at Wonder Lunch, shop the latest trends at Maurice's, find the perfect gift at Gardner Collier, or enjoy a night out with ice cream and retro arcade games at Old School Pinball and Arcade. Penn Central also has numerous public events scheduled throughout the year to provide fun for the whole family. Find them on Facebook to stay up to date with deals and upcoming events. Walk, shop, enjoy. Penn Central Mall.
When he's not nursing residents with special needs, James' passion is improving his family residence. Hillary? When she's not teaching undergrads, she's cooking up fun for Carson and Owen. The local home loan experts at Midwest One help them buy their home, pay down principal, make improvements, and build up equity. Their local mortgage service was so easy and affordable that James and Hillary even referred a friend. For local mortgage service, choose Simply Better Banking from Midwest One.
At Mahaska Health, our team is dedicated to caring for you through every season of life. Whether you are in need of a same-day appointment, preparing to expand your family, or about to undergo surgery with our excellent surgical staff, we are dedicated to helping you feel your best, today and every day. Recognized as a top 100 critical access hospital, we are continually driven to enhance the health and well-being of the communities we serve. Mahaska Health.
Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy is proud to keep the Oskaloosa Indians and their fans safe and feeling good, on or off the field. Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy is the expert in injury care, orthopedics, and sports rehab. Kinetic Edge offers friendly and knowledgeable professionals who will get to know you and your goals to help you get back to doing what you love in no time. Find out more at kineticedgept.com.
At Gardner Collier Jewelry, our goal has always been to provide you with the very best jewelry for your money. From plain gold wedding bands to the most exquisite diamond ring, Gardner Collier has it. Our huge selection is sure to exceed your expectations, and our service is second to none. From sterling silver fashion jewelry to the one-of-a-kind diamond fashion piece, Gardner Collier can fill your jewelry desires. For the very best value in fine jewelry, choose Gardner Collier, Quincy Place Mall, Ottumwa, and Penn Central Mall, Oskaloosa.
Water is more than just a source of life. We have fun with it, clean with it, grow with it, save lives with it. How water gets to us is rarely ever thought about. But at Clow Valve Company, water is never taken for granted. We design and build some of the most advanced water valves and hydrants in the world from one of the cleanest, greenest, and safest facilities in the United States. Clow Valve Company. It's more.
For nearly 40 years, Musco has specialized in the design and manufacture of sports and large area lighting solutions. From neighborhood ball fields to international speedways, Musco is committed to providing cost-effective lighting solutions and services you can rely on. For your budget, for the environment, Musco Lighting, we make it happen.
Whether you have great credit, not so great credit, or even no credit at all, everyone is welcome at Craig Ford in Oskaloosa. And if your credit score is not so great or even bad, we have the vehicles with extra rebates and incentives to help you rebuild your credit and get you into a nice, dependable vehicle. So whether your credit is great or not so great, let my staff at Craig Ford in Oskaloosa help get you into a nicer, more dependable vehicle.
Stop out at Stam Garden Center and Nursery for all your outdoor needs. Stam Garden Center will have a fresh supply of a wide variety of fall annuals, perennials, shrubs, and trees to fit any budget. Autumn Acres will be open Saturday, September 21st, and be open each Friday evening and Saturday through October 26th. Autumn Acres has family fun for everyone, so stop out at Stam Garden Center and Nursery and experience autumn.
It's more than an education. It's more than a degree. William Penn University is alive with opportunity. Opportunity in a diverse student body. Opportunity in a staff that works with your budget. Opportunity in over 30 programs of study. Opportunity in a classroom where your voice is heard. Find your future and the opportunities waiting for you. Start your planning today at wmpenn.edu and see why William Penn University is alive with opportunity.
The Indians Network starts now. Brought to you by Fairway, Gardner Collier, STAM, William Penn University, Kinetic Edge, Mahaska Health, Wood Iron Grill, Musco, Craig Ford, Penn Central Mall, Edward Jones, Midwest One, Clow Valve, Oski Dental, Bill and Ray's, Bates Funeral Chapel, Penn Central Eye Clinic, Community First Credit Union, and Wendell Campbell of State Farm. Get ready for Oskaloosa High School sports on the Indians Network. Live sports. Local content. Student-run broadcasts. MCG, Oskaloosa News, and Thunder Country KIIC bring you the Indians Network. Presented by Craig Ford.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Newton, Iowa. The Indians Network is live on the air from H.A. Lynn Stadium in Newton. Thanks for joining us. The Indians Network, presented by Craig Ford, is a partnership between Oskaloosa News, MCG, Thunder Country, KIIC, and the OVP program at Oskaloosa High School. We welcome you to Newton, and we remind you that video is prohibited, live video prohibited here at Newton High School. So On your screen tonight, you're going to see the picture you see now, and occasionally it'll be a black screen, but we will have a scoreboard graphic for you that'll be up all night long, and you can follow the score and what quarter it is and so forth throughout the broadcast. So audio only tonight from Newton, Iowa, but we're glad you're with us here on the Indians Network, presented by Craig Ford. Oskaloosa 3-2 on the season, 1-0 in district play, coming off that impressive homecoming win last Friday night over the Grinnell Tigers. Newton also 3-2 on the year. They're 1-0 in district play, coming off a big win over South Tama last week, 56-21. We will take a quick break here on the Indians Network to hear from our title sponsor, Craig Ford, and also our pregame sponsor, Mahaska Drug. And when we come back, we will preview tonight's matchup between Oskaloosa and Newton. And we'll also have the conversation that I had with Oskaloosa head football coach Jake Jenkins yesterday as well. Our pregame powered by Mahaska Drug. We'll be back on the Indians Network, presented by Craig Ford, right.
Whether you have great credit, not so great credit, or even no credit at all, everyone is welcome at Craig Ford in Oskaloosa. And if your credit score is not so great or even bad, we have the vehicles with extra rebates and incentives to help you rebuild your credit and get you into a nice, dependable vehicle. So whether your credit is great or not so great, let my staff at Craig Ford in Oskaloosa help get you into a nicer, more dependable vehicle.
Go Hawks! Go Cyclones!
Go to Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa for all things black and gold and cardinal and gold. It's one of the largest collections of sports gear for both teams anywhere in the state. Mahaska Drug has it all. It's a fun store to shop, loaded with ideas to make life a little entertaining, a little more enjoyable, and it's all in one store.
Hawkeyes! Cyclones! Hawkeye! Cyclones!
Let everyone know with Hawkeye and Cyclone merchandise from Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa. It's big, really big.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to H.A. Lynn Stadium in Newton, as we are live here on the Indians Network, presented by Craig Ford. We thank you for joining us on this Friday night, week 6 of high school football coming your way as Oskaloosa is on the road to take on the Newton Cardinals. We welcome you to the Wood Iron Grill Press Box. My name is Jamie Brockman, and to my right is Double D, Mr. Doug DeCock, and there he is. Hello, Doug. Hello, everybody watching back home, whether you're watching on the video stream on the Indians Network, on a computer, laptop, whatever it may be, or maybe you're watching on MCG Channel 7 tonight. We're glad you're with us. Doug, great win by the Indians last week on homecoming, taking care of Grinnell, who came in with pretty good stats, and Oskaloosa just shut them down. One of the best defensive performances I've seen from the Indians all year long, and that translated to offense. Now, of course, the offense spotted the Tigers 9 points to start the game, but then our defense and offense took over from there.
Yeah, they did, Jamie. First of all, hello to everybody back in Oskaloosa. It's a beautiful night for football here on the brand spanking new turf here at what is it, H.A. Lynn
Yep.
Stadium, and a big bright cardinal in the field. It's just a beautiful facility here. But you're right, Oskaloosa took it to Grinnell last week, but we did make some mistakes early, and for a little bit there it was like, we could be in trouble. But Grinnell came in with the leading rusher in 3A in state, and Oskaloosa just completely dominated him. I think at halftime he had, 10 yards?
Well, I think he had negative 5 yards at halftime and 15 total for the ball game.
Yeah, so Oskaloosa did very well against the run game. Now, that translates to this week. They're going to see a lot of running the football from the Newton Cardinals. They love to run it. They'll run it inside. They'll run it outside. But it's a little bit of old school football. They'll have a fullback. They'll run power. You're going to see the Indians shift. A lot of times they will shift the linebacker up to the line of scrimmage, and they'll be in a 5-man front to try to slow down this Newton running game.
Yeah, Newton has 6 different players that have rushed the football 39 or more carries this season. 6 different players. So they've got a lot of guys, a lot of formations. They shift around, and it's going to be tricky, and the defense is going to have to be on their toes tonight. They don't go to the air a lot, and when they do, they're not terribly successful. I think on the season they're 38 of 67 through the yard for through the air rather, for 522 yards. But rushing-wise, they've rushed 258 times for just under 1,600 yards and 17 rushing touchdowns. Now you compare that to Oskaloosa, Doug. 258 rushing attempts for Newton, 182 rushing attempts on the year for Oskaloosa, 788 yards on the ground for Oski, just under 1,600 for Newton. And Newton averaging about 423 total yards a game compared to 294 yards per game for Oskaloosa. So, the stats heavily favor Newton, but kind of like we talked about last week, competition hasn't quite been as tough as what Oskaloosa's faced this season.
Yeah, they're going to use their running game to set up their passes, and actually their passing statistics are not that bad. They're fairly effective, and the reason they're effective is if they can run the ball on you, they'll run play action, they'll get the safeties biting on the run, and then they'll hit a big play on you. So we got to watch it tonight. Our safeties have talked to Coach Jenkins a little bit before the game. He says we have drilled into our safeties' heads to watch out for that play action pass tonight.
Let's talk a little bit about offense, Oskaloosa. And I tell you what, we've got pretty much all of our skill players back and healthy tonight. Tyler Miller is going to go again, of course. Aaron Blom, that ankle is healing up, and he had a huge run late in that game last Friday of 83 yards to set up our final touchdown. Tyler Miller, for the second time this year, had 4 touchdowns in the football game, so he pulled an Al Bundy for the second time this year, 4 touchdowns in a single game for Tyler Miller. But Will Schultz, who missed last week's game with a concussion he suffered the week before, he is back tonight, and now Coach Dowd, I don't know. It's like an offensive coordinator's dream / nightmare at the same time. You've got Reed Brown, who we've seen at quarterback, and you saw what he can do with his feet last week. We've got Will Schultz, who can do it through the air or on the ground. And then you've got Tyler Miller, who's also played quarterback last week. And I understand that looks like Miller's going to be the go-to guy at quarterback tonight to start the game. But it'll be interesting to see how they work Will Schultz and Reed Brown into this offense, because they will be on the football field. And that gives us, Doug, a lot of options and a ton of speed to work with tonight for Oskaloosa offensively.
Yeah, and Wyatt Creer ran the ball really well last week. But regardless of who you have back there, it all starts up front. And can we control the line of scrimmage? I've been impressed with our offensive line this year and the way it's held up against, especially against Norwalk. We did a good job. And the only game we really didn't do a very good job was against Washington. But they've done a good job. They've opened some holes, and it doesn't really matter who's been back there, been able to make some hay behind the offensive line.
Absolutely. Well, you're watching our pregame show live from H.A. Lynn Stadium in Newton as we're in Week 6 of high school football here on the Indians Network, presented by Craig Ford. Again, the Indians Network is a partnership consisting of MCG as well as Oskaloosa News and Thunder Country KIIC in cooperation with the OVP program at Oskaloosa High School. Speaking of the OVP program, we have sophomore Charlie North will be part of our broadcast team tonight. He's going to be down on the Oskaloosa Indians sideline on our wireless mic. We're not going to be able to communicate with Charlie like we can with Coach Harms at home, but Charlie will be down there. He'll talk to Coach Jenkins at halftime and post-game and maybe give us some thoughts throughout the game as well. We'll check in with Charlie for injury updates and things like that should we need to throughout the night. Speaking of Coach Jenkins, Doug, this is a huge night for the Jenkins family. It really is. Coach Jenkins grew up right here in Newton, Iowa. He played right here in this stadium. His dad, legendary longtime coach of Newton High School football. The visiting locker room has his dad's name on it. So this is a huge night for Coach Jenkins. First time back in Newton as a head football coach.
Yeah, it sure is. As I mentioned, I talked with Coach a little bit before, and it is a big deal tonight with Coach Jenkins coming back. I know that some of the big boys from Des Moines WHO are here to interview him. But Coach Jenkins went from Newton, and he'll played for Newton. And back in the day, Newton was a powerhouse in football, and under his dad, John Jenkins. And he likes to tell a story each year about the year they beat Valley. Nobody gave him a chance, and it's one of his inspirational speeches that he gives each team is about the game that they beat Valley. But Coach Jenkins then went from here. I think he went down to Northwest Missouri State, which is a football powerhouse in Division II. Had some injury problems, ended up at William Penn, and then he ended up at Oskaloosa, and we certainly are glad to have him here at Oskaloosa.
Yes, we are, and hopefully the guys can come through and make it a happy homecoming for Coach Jake Jenkins tonight here in Newton. So it is Oskaloosa and Newton going head-to-head tonight here in Week 6 of high school football. Week 2 in district play, 3A District 7. Last week, district winners were Newton, Pella, and Oskaloosa. They're all 1-0. Grinnell, South Tama, and Knoxville all 0-1. Other games tonight around the district. Pella is at South Tama. Obviously, Pella will be the high favorite there. I expect a pretty lopsided score on that one. We'll see Pella at Pella next Friday night. Of course, Oski's here at Newton, and then I think the one game to watch in our district tonight is Knoxville at Grinnell. That's going to be I can't wait to see the scores on that. That should be a pretty good game, Knoxville at Grinnell. And one other huge game going on in the state tonight that may draw interest for you guys that we'll try to keep you updated with scores is Solon at Washington. Probably one of the biggest games in Class 3A tonight, and we're going to keep track of that score and keep you updated on that throughout the night as well. So you are watching the pregame show here on the Indians Network. It is powered by Mahaska Drug. I'm Jamie Brockman. Doug DeCock joining me here in the Wood Iron Grill press box, and down on the Oskaloosa sideline throughout the night will be OVP student Charlie North. Speaking of Wood Iron Grill, tell you what, folks, head out there. They've got the game on right now at Wood Iron Grill in Oskaloosa. You can go out there. You can listen to the game.
The audio.
The audio, yeah. They've got it. They've got the audio and the picture that we'll be providing there. But you can go out there. You can have some drinks. You can listen to the game with friends. Enjoy tremendous appetizers and food menu at Wood Iron Grill in Oskaloosa. So head out there and take in some great food and drinks, and cheer on the Oskaloosa Indians right here on the Indians Network. They have it on at Wood Iron Grill. Well, we are going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to hear from Oskaloosa head football coach Jake Jenkins. I had a chance to talk to him yesterday, as I do each and every week. So we'll step aside, and we will be back as our pregame show will continue from Newton High School. Next up is Oskaloosa head football coach Jake Jenkins.
Every morning before my family and I head out the door for the day, we tell each other to be the one. It's a challenge we make to each other to step up and show kindness when we have the opportunity. I'm Mike Sitzma, funeral director here at Bates Funeral Chapel. I see families in some of their toughest times. However, I get to see our community at its best through the outpouring of love and support they show those affected by loss. I challenge you to join me and my family to look for opportunities daily to be the one.
Oh, for basketball. They're basketball, yeah. They did. They started that when I was there, and that was, it's the number one fundraiser, or the number one whatever you call it, in the state.
Really?
Yeah, it sure is.
Whether you have great credit, not so great credit, or even no credit at all, everyone is welcome at Craig Ford in Oskaloosa. And if your credit score is not so great or even bad, we have the vehicles with extra rebates and incentives to help you rebuild your credit and get you into a nice, dependable vehicle. So whether your credit is great or not so great, let my staff at Craig Ford in Oskaloosa help get you into a nicer, more dependable vehicle. Whether you have great credit,
Welcome back to our pregame covers presented by Mahaska Drug here on the Indians Network. I'm Jamie Brockman, visiting right now with Oskaloosa head football coach Jake Jenkins as Oski gets ready to take on Newton tonight on the road. First of all, Coach, good win last Friday night, homecoming over Grinnell. And let me start here. Let's give kudos to your defense. Your defense took a team that had pretty good stats on paper coming in and pretty much shut them down.
Well, I appreciate it. I really like the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, we want to win all three phases, offense, defense, and special teams. Defensively, our goal was to keep them under 15, and ultimately we wanted to shut out if we could do that. we didn't get the shutout. They did score 7 on our defense, and then with a couple of errors with the snaps and things early on, we gave up 9. So as a whole, we didn't give up a ton of yards. We got 9 out of 10 of our team goals, and those team goals are really difficult. The only 2 we didn't get were sacks. And the freshman quarterback he threw the ball to Reed Brown once, and he threw a couple that were almost picks. So we got 9 out of 10. We're really happy with that, and we're really happy with the way that we played as a whole.
Another thing that was pretty impressive to me was the fact that you had to kind of throw everything out last week with the injuries and the skill positions and put new guys in, and everybody came in and took care of what they were supposed to do, and it seemed to go pretty flawless.
Yeah, I agree. We have a next man in mentality, and that's what's really fun about building a program, and it's what's really fun about having so many people that care about the program. So somebody goes down, and then everybody go, oh man, we don't have so and so in or so and so in. Well, you got guys that have been waiting their whole lives to play varsity football, so they're ready to go, and so it's the next man in mentality. Let's throw them in. Let's see how they do. But they're ready to go, and a lot of guys, they know they're one play away from being on the field.
Good way to end a busy, exciting homecoming week with the 35-16 win over Grinnell. This week we go on the road to Newton. It's district week number 2, and the Newton Cardinals are awaiting. Coach, this is a team, a town, a school that you know very well.
Oh, absolutely. Obviously, I grew up in Newton. My dad was head football coach for 17 years. And he went to the playoffs every year that he was a coach, which was pretty amazing considering most of them they were the smallest 4A school in the state. So they had really tough teams, and it's a great town with a great tradition. And I can't wait for this opportunity. Coach Ergenbright's like a second father to me. He's done a great job. He took over after Dad retired and stepped down, and this is actually his 17th year. So he's been there as long as Dad was there. It's pretty special because he was my secondary coach and guy that I keep in touch with very, very closely. So going back to H.A. Lynn Stadium, I grew up on that field. I literally grew up 2 blocks away from that stadium. I grew up under the Friday Night Lights. I grew up being a ball boy. I grew up being around big hits. I grew up around good football and high school football and an awesome atmosphere. And it stuck with me my entire life, and it really makes me who I am, with the football and then family being mixed in with that, to have a football family. So kind of a dream come true to do it on my own or on our own with a new school. And I love Oskaloosa, and I love our boys, and I'm really excited to go out there and hopefully beat our alma mater, my alma mater, just because these are my guys. And Oski, we wear maroon now, and then after the game, we'll shake it up. There'll be lots of hugs and things like that. My brother will be on the, looking across the whole time across the field. Coach Ergenbright and all those other coaches that I know very, very well.
Exciting opportunity, obviously, for you and your family. Let's break down Newton here first, then we'll talk a little bit about your plan for Oskaloosa. But looking at them on paper, they're 3-2, 1-0 in the district. Passing stats aren't the greatest. Looks like they've got several different guys that touch the football, though, in the rushing game.
Yeah, they do. Multiple threats, a lot of different sets. When I was breaking down and making cards this week for our scout team, I spent a lot of time doing that because they have so many different formations. Traditionally speaking, Newton runs the ball, 8-9 times out of 10. And so they're still running the ball and doing a lot of power with, pulling guards and tackles and a lot of quick motions, a lot of quick sets and quick hitters. And they lull you to sleep. And so over time they run. And then all of a sudden they do play action pass, and then people are going, how are they that wide open? How is the tight end that wide open? How is the backside flanker that wide open? It's because they really can lull you to sleep with that running attack. So they run to set up the pass, and when they do pass, those guys sometimes are wide open. We've seen it on film over and over again, even against really good teams. It's tough to be disciplined against a team like this, and I know because I used to play tight end, for the Cardinals, and so I remember blocking, then I'd slip by and release and see the free safety and run right past him and be wide open for touchdown passes. Everybody in the crowd's going, you need to pass the ball more. Well, it's there because they set it up with the run. So you do need to be very disciplined against a team like Newton, and you need to be ready to stop the run against a team like Newton.
Do you expect them to throw any surprises in there, being that you know them so well?
I suppose every coach does, and they do. You always want to have a trick or two up your sleeve. The same would be true for us as well, because this is down to the wire. I mean, this is district play. This is like a playoff game. So you would hate to be on the sideline going, gosh, I wish we would have put in this, or gosh, I wish we would have done that, because at that point it's too late. So I know Coach Ergenbright, he's always very prepared. So he's going to be as prepared for this game as we are for them. And then it's going to come down to who wants it more, who's going to dominate the line of scrimmage, who's going to play harder, who's going to react to adversity the best, and who's going to ultimately just step up and make big plays.
All right, well, let's talk about Oskaloosa now. Still dealing with some injuries and some shifts in positions. So what is the game plan this week? We've now seen Reed Brown, we've seen Will Schultz, we've seen Tyler Miller at quarterback through the season. So what's the plan here for week 6?
First of all, our week went really well. Week of practice went really well. We were inside for one of our days too, and it was a fantastic practice. So the practice this week has been awesome. We have done 0 full contact, and that's not a bad thing because we have been banged up so much. Our guys have still been lining up and running around fast. So it's not like we've gotten worse, but we've given them a break from that contact that I think they needed with the right at the mid-season lull, and when guys are really beat up. So I feel really good about how our guys are feeling right now physically, and I feel like mentally as well. And mentally, we're as strong as we have ever been. Back to your question, as far as the quarterback is concerned, I talked to Coach Dowd this morning, and he said, between you and me, I have no idea. And between you and me and everybody else in the world, I'm going to tell the quarterbacks that too. I will not know who's going to start until we go out there for pregame. He goes, I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to see what happens during pregame, see who looks like they're really ready and focused and ready to go, and I'm going to go with my gut feeling. So it's literally going to be a last-second game call. But the good thing about that is all 3 of them will be ready to play that position or any other position on the offensive side or defensive side for that matter.
One thing that Coach Dowd said Sunday on the Indians Corner was that, the guys are starting to get it now. It seems like they're starting to play smart football, if you will. They understand where they go on this play or why they have this to do on this play, and that's got to be good to see.
It is. I would say last week I was nervous watching our offensive line play, and I was nervous watching our offense having Will go down. And it wasn't a negative to anybody else that was out there. It was just the fact that no one else had called the cadence. No one else, had been used to having that quarterback. They're used to having one guy and you throw a wrinkle. And so I was nervous last week. That's why I said defense, we got to get a shutout. Let's help the offense. We may have to bring them up. And we had some blunders. We gave up 9 points. It ended up being the truth. But then we stuck with it. We didn't get down on ourselves, and we got things going on offense, which we also said would happen as long as we stuck with the game plan and we didn't give up and we just kept fighting. We're going to figure things out, and we really did. This week of practice with the offensive line, much better. Much, much better. Night and day different. I look and I'm going, there are massive holes. We are moving people. We're making less mental mistakes. So even though we're running 3 different quarterbacks, the cadences are sounding alike. People are getting used to having different people back there. And so I like what's happening. I like what is in front of us, and I see a heck of a lot more options. We were handcuffed last week, and we really had 3 days to get ready with a kid who had never played quarterback, in a varsity game. That's crazy to do, especially in a district play, but there's nothing you can do when a player's hurt, especially with a concussion. You just got to figure it out, and you got to do the best you can. So fortunately, it paid off. This week, our offense is going to be operating, I anticipate, a lot more smoothly.
All right. Finally, what are keys to an Indian win tonight?
I always think the line. I think defensive line, offensive line. We need to dominate the line of scrimmage. And offensively, Newton they're tough up front. They got the big old boys, and they're smash mouth football. And I embrace that. I really like that mentality, and we like the mentality. We got to win the line of scrimmage. And then again, who's gonna? Both sides are gonna make mistakes. My dad used to say it all the time. 22 guys run on a field and start making mistakes. The team that handles those mistakes, generally speaking, is the team that wins the game. So how are we going to handle adversity, and how are we going to fight back? Last week we gave up 9 points, and we fought back really tough. So I'm excited to see how we're going to handle the adversity this week.
All right, well, we're excited to see it too. So, Coach, good luck to you in the Indians tonight at Newton.
Thank you very much.
All right, that is Oskaloosa head football coach Jake Jenkins joining in here on our pregame, powered by Mahaska Drug. Thank you to our OVP camera and audio. Say thanks to Aiden Schmidt and Isaac Schultz for those duties. And stick around. We've got Week 6 high school football coming up. Oskaloosa at Newton. Right?
Come experience Penn Central Mall. With a variety of shops, services, restaurants, and more, Penn Central is the place to go for all your shopping and entertainment needs. Grab a gourmet grilled cheese at Wonder Lunch, shop the latest trends at Maurice's, find the perfect gift at Gardner Collier, or enjoy a night out with ice cream and retro arcade games at Old School Pinball and Arcade. Penn Central also has numerous public events scheduled throughout the year to provide fun for the whole family. Find them on Facebook to stay up to date with deals and upcoming events. Walk, shop, enjoy. Penn Central Mall.
At Clow Valve Company, being the premier place to work is part of our core vision, and this includes helping our local community be a premier place to live. Clow cares and is committed to creating a happier and healthier community. By volunteering in local events and fundraisers. By donating to nonprofit organizations. By leaving a better tomorrow than today. Clow Plow is more.
We are Plow.
If you want to save more,
if you want a butcher who knows more,
if you want fewer aisles and more value,
less quantity, more quality,
if you want more of this,
and this,
and this.
This is Fairway, and this is how we do more.
Putting our all into meat and grocery.
Putting our all into meat and grocery.
Putting our all and more into meat and grocery.
Rest easy. State Farm agent Wendell Campbell is there for you. Call 641-673-4462 today for the service you deserve.
You're sure to save big at Hy-Vee now that hundreds of items are on low price lockdown and price decline. Lockdown prices won't change unless they are lowered, and any item marked with a red arrow means you will.
The first game was played back in 1910 with Oskaloosa winning that contest 24-10. The last time Oskaloosa came to Newton was in 2011. The Cardinals were victorious that day by a score of 20-15. Oskaloosa won last year's meeting, played at William Penn College by a score of 50.
Okay, we are back live here on the Indians Network, presented by Craig Ford. Sorry about the brief delay there as we lost our audio, but we are back, and we're at H.A. Lynn Stadium here in Newton, ready for Week 6 of high school football. Well, Doug DeCock, we just heard from Oskaloosa coach Jake Jenkins how excited he is to be back home here in Newton. He talked about performance last week, what he expects tonight, and what keys are. What do you think keys to an Oskaloosa victory are tonight, Doug DeCock?
Well, obviously, the one of the keys is going to be turnovers. We got to take care of the ball. The other key, I think, is how does our defense hold up, a much improving defense, hold up against the Newton running game, and can we shut them down and control the line of scrimmage on the defensive side of the ball?
All right, well, real quick before kickoff, let's take a look at our game time conditions, and they are presented as they are every week by TotalScape Lawn Care in Oskaloosa. They are proud to support Oskaloosa Indian sports and athletics, and proud to be your hometown lawn care company. That is TotalScape Lawn Care in Oskaloosa. Right now we have partly cloudy skies, 57 degrees. It is a bit breezy. East-southeast winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour. It is a bit chilly, and it's just going to get a little more chilly as the night goes on. And that is your current game time conditions here at Newton, Iowa. Our pregame has been powered by Mahaska Drug. Thank you so much for watching. And we are underway now here in Newton. And again, we have audio only for you tonight with the scoreboard graphic you see on your screen, as live video has been prohibited by Newton High School. So we are here on the Indians Network, presented by Craig Ford. You'll have audio all night, and we'll keep you updated on the score. We are just underway. Kickoff just occurred. Oskaloosa kicks off to Newton, and the Cardinals will start the ball game on offense. First down and 10. Blom's kick was into the end zone, a touchback. No surprise there. And Newton has first strike at the ball, and the Oskaloosa defense wraps him up. A huge pile right at the line of scrimmage. Drives him back. No gain on the first offensive play for Newton.
Well, a little crossbuck action there from Newton, and Walker Newman right away making his presence felt, makes the tackle. And for no gain for Newton on first down. So that'll bring up a second down and 10 for the Cardinals.
Newton offense, the front line, the center is Blake Sevenbergen. The tackles are Gabe Abrams and Clay Meyer. Guards are Gabe Hone and Gage Linehan. Tight end is Caleb Dydell. Running back is Cody Satterfield, William Cheng, and Dylan Farver, all listed as running backs. And the quarterback is a senior, Kyle Long, for Newton. And defensively for Oskaloosa, up front, the tackles are Kenny Satimi and Bobby Opheim. The defensive ends are Noah Van Veldhuizen and Walker Newman. Linebackers are Cody Gunn, Tyler Miller, and Aaron Blom, as well as Wyatt Creer, who's kind of a linebacker / safety. Free safety is Reed Brown. Cornerback is Isaac Schultz, and the other cornerback, Mason Ford. All right, it is... Oh, big play right there by Isaac Schultz on the outside corner. Newton tried to run the option to the left side, and Isaac Schultz was right there to shut it down at the 25-yard line.
So Newton was able to get a first down on their second run. They gained about 12 yards right inside of our left end. And then Schultz with a big loss right there, about a 6-yard loss on the play, 5-yard loss. So it brings up 2nd and 15 for the Cardinals. And if you're Oskaloosa, this is exactly what you want to do, is put them in passing situations.
So 2 of the 3 plays, big defensive stops for Oskaloosa. Newton at the line now. They've got a receiver split to each side under center for Kyle Long. They hand it off in the backfield. He goes up the right side. He's got some room across the 30, fighting to the 32, 33-yard line. That's going to be a gain of about 7 or 8 yards right there for Newton, which is going to set up a third and still long. Third and about 7 to go for the Cardinals.
Well, that's 20 yards on the same play. That's the same play they got 12 yards on the first time they ran it, and they get about 8 right there. So Oskaloosa having a little trouble with that play to Satterfield.
Satterfield is the leading rusher for the actually he's the second leading rusher. 49 carries, 327 yards, 8-yard average, and 1 touchdown coming into tonight. So, it's 3rd and 3, but Kyle Long is dropping back to pass. He's got a lot of time. He decides to throw in the flat right side. It is caught, but Oskaloosa quickly gets to him on the far sideline around the 37-yard line. He's going to be about a yard short the way it looks, Doug.
Well, it was 3rd and 7 there. He's going to be about 5 yards short.
Okay.
So 3rd and 7. Let's see. Yeah, looks like he's about 5 yards short. So it brings up a 4th down, and Newton's going to go into punt formation here with 9:25 in the first quarter.
So opening drive of the game, Newton, and they will punt it away. Back to receive is Tyler Miller.
Shanked it. That's going to be at the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
That's going to be about a 15-yard punt.
So Oskaloosa with a successful opening drive defensively. And now the Indians will come out on offense for their first possession. And the starting offense for Oskaloosa, they've made a change at the center position. It's going to be Noah Ide, Jr., starting at center. The right guard is Tommy Melton. The right tackle is Nick Thomas. The left guard is Cale Bollinger, and the left tackle is Colton Butler. Tight end will be Noah Van Veldhuizen. We will see some Cody Gunn there as well. Fullback is Aaron Blom. We'll see some Cale Holmberg in that position. Running back to start will be Wyatt Creer. And Isaac Schultz will be a slot back in the offense. Reed Brown also in as a receiver. And then Tyler Miller will be the starting quarterback for Oskaloosa for the second week in a row. And the Indians move the football on the first offensive possession for them.
9 yards right there for Creer on a quick hitter up the middle. That play looked really good. Good job by our line. So Tommy Melton has worked his way into the starting lineup there on the offensive line.
Yes, he has, and he's doing a great job. So good way to start for Oskaloosa. 9 yards, first carry for Wyatt Creer. Sets up second and short. Indians keep it on the ground again. Big hole right side. That's Tyler Miller, the quarterback. He's at the 40, 35, 30. Shakes off a tackler on the sideline, and he is deep into Newton territory across the 25-yard line. Looks like they're going to spot that at the 22. Huge run by number 10, Tyler Miller, on the quarterback keep.
Wide open to the right side there, Jamie, and good block downfield by Ike Schultz to get Miller another extra 5-10 yards after he was downfield a ways.
Huge
good
run.
job of sticking with his block there.
First down, Indians now just outside the red zone at the 22-yard line. Shotgun for Tyler Miller. Miller fakes a couple handoffs, then tries to roll to the left. He's being drugged down and throws it as he's going down. Incomplete. He did everything he could just to get rid of that one and avoid a huge loss.
Well,
and
that's
an incomplete pass.
Excellent play by Miller. That's not going to show up in any stats anywhere, but he just saved 10 yards by throwing the ball away. There was a receiver over there, but a smart play by Miller, who does not have a lot of experience at quarterback, but certainly looked like an experienced quarterback there.
Second down and 10, Oskaloosa from the Newton 22-yard line. 2 receivers to the right, 1 left. Got the Schultz brothers lined up right. Isaac is wide right, and Will is in the slot. Coming in motion is Cale Holmberg. It's going to be another keeper for Tyler Miller. Straight ahead, he's making people miss into the red zone. He's across the 10-yard line. Inside the 10, it looks like the 9 for Tyler Miller.
Well, he's just really shifty inside with his feet and able to move laterally and dodge a few guys. And the Oskaloosa now in a hurry. They're up to the line, ready to go.
And the Indians can now see the end zone clearly, as they are in the Eye Care Partners red zone. Dr. Jim Else and Eye Care Partners, see them for all of your eye care needs for your entire family. They're in Penn Central Mall, downtown Oskaloosa. Here is Cale Holmberg. Holmberg straight ahead, touchdown.
That's Wyatt Creer.
Wyatt Creer. Wyatt Creer straight ahead, touchdown, Oski.
Boy, they felt like they could run the ball tonight, according to the coaches, and they certainly can, as they march 51 yards right down the field for a touchdown.
Unchallenged for the most part by Newton's defense. Tyler Miller, Wyatt Creer. doing it on the ground, and the Indians strike on their opening possession with 8:25 to go in the first quarter. And now Aaron Blom on to attempt the PAT, and it is up, and it is good. Oskaloosa starts off strong as they score on their opening possession, and the Indians lead it 6-0 over 7-0 rather over the Newton Cardinals with 8:25 left to go in that first quarter. Doug, what'd you like on that opening drive by the Indians?
Well, I like the way they just were able to run the ball inside of the tackles. They were letting the Newton go on the ends, and they were really attacking the middle of the field inside with the inside running game, and they had big holes in there, and a good job by our offensive line on that first drive.
Absolutely. 51-yard drive, pretty much unchallenged for the most part by Oskaloosa, and the Indians strike, and they lead 7-0 over the Newton Cardinals.
Well, the poor punt was almost like a turnover, a 15-yard punt. Gave Oskaloosa the ball about midfield, so the Indians take advantage early here and put 7 on the board with 8:25 left.
And now Aaron Blom to kick off, and he has the powerful legs, so I fully expect we'll see a touchback here for Oskaloosa.
Newton lined up at the goal line.
Yeah, they got 3 guys back. All right, 7-0 Oskaloosa leading it over Newton. 7:20 to go in the first quarter of play. And Newton now with a 3rd down and 4. They're just across their own 30-yard line at the 31. Here on the Indians Network, presented by Craig Ford. Newton running the football, and once again, the Oski defense is there for the stop. Newton, other than a couple of runs early on that first possession, Doug, Oskaloosa has had their number, and Newton unable to move the football much against this Indian defense.
Yeah, we play a 4-3-4, but we roll a linebacker up, and we basically went into a 5-2 there and even played the linebackers up tight and just daring Newton to throw the ball, and they don't, and they lose about 3 yards on the play. So they'll punt here on 4th down. 2 possessions, 2 punts for the Newton Cardinals. This one is going to be another short punt. It's going to roll out of bounds around the 41-yard line of Oskaloosa. So once again, good field position to start this drive for the Indians. 51 yards and a touchdown on their opening possession. Wyatt Creer got the score for Oskaloosa to lead 7-0, and now we get the football with 6:27 to go in this first quarter. It will be 1st down and 10. They're going to spot it right at the 40-yard line of Oskaloosa. So we got Will Schultz in there at one wide out, Reed Brown in another, and then Ike Schultz. Will and Ike are on the same side, split wide right. Miller in the pistol with Creer right next to his right. Hand off to Creer up the middle.
Creer straight ahead and fights for a yard, it looks like, the 41. Bring up 2nd down and 9. Short game.
Well, this is something we don't see a lot with Oskaloosa games, and Oskaloosa actually looks like they are bigger than Newton on the line here with our offensive line. So you don't see that a whole lot if you're an Oskaloosa fan, but we're certainly seeing it looks like tonight. Oskaloosa has a little size advantage on the line. Newton with just 3 down linemen.
Yeah, they run a 3-4 defense. Here's Tyler Miller going to keep it himself this time. Look at that footwork by Tyler Miller, making a hole where there wasn't one there. And he's across the 45 out to the 48-yard line. That's going to be a 7-yard gain there by Tyler Miller.
So it's going to bring up 3rd and short for the Indians. We have yet to attempt to pass. Then Belheisen checks out. Reed Brown back in. Holmberg.
2 receivers out to the left. 1 wide right. And in the slot is Will Schultz. Tyler Miller in the shotgun. Wyatt Creer in the backfield next to him. And Tyler Miller keeps it himself. Right side finds a hole. He's got the first down and a couple extras. He's across midfield into Cardinals territory at the 48-yard line.
Well, that's pretty basic football there. It's a snap to Miller in the pistol. Creer just leads right up through the 5-hole, and Miller follows him in behind for a first down for Oskaloosa.
5 minutes left here in the first quarter. Oskaloosa leading 7-0. Here's the first pass of the game. Tyler Miller throws. It is caught on the left side at the 42-yard line of Newton, and he gets across the 40 to about the 38-yard line, and that was Reed Brown on the reception for Oskaloosa out on the left side.
Yeah, and if he gets loose, look out, because we saw his speed last week on a big run up the middle, and a nice catch by Brown, nice throw by Miller. Newton really comes hard on the edges with both linebackers. They have 3 down linemen, but they bring both 2 linebackers on the edge, and they really come hard from the outside.
2 receivers right, 1 left for Oskaloosa, and the handoff is to Wyatt Creer. Not much opening there on the left side, and Creer is stopped for no gain. Second down and 10.
Jamie, we should be able to hit that hole between, if we take one of their down linemen down inside and kick out that rusher on the outside, there should be some gaps there off tackle for the Indians.
Actually lost a couple there. They move it back to the 39 of Newton. It's 3rd down and 7, Oskaloosa. 2 receivers left, 1 right. And Tyler Miller keeps it himself, switches direction. He's got room on the left side. And big run for Miller down the sideline. He's across the 30, 25, and out of bounds on the far end of the field, just shy of the 20-yard line at the 21. That is an 18-yard run by Tyler Miller.
You know what the best part of that run was?
What?
He ran out of bounds. He tends to take guys on when he doesn't need to. It's nice to see him. He's got a dinged-up shoulder. Just get out of bounds instead of getting that extra yard in that situation and save your body.
Oskaloosa moving the football on their first 2 drives. 51-yard drive on their opening possession for a touchdown, and marching down the field again, mostly on the ground. Only 2 pass attempts so far by Tyler Miller. Here Miller keeps it again. He bursts through the hole on the left side, gets to the outside, using his speed. He's into the red zone, and he's going to be out of bounds at the 14-yard line.
Well, that's the same play. It's like an off-tackle blast. They just lead Creer up in the hole. Miller tucks in behind him. You've got a linebacker taking himself way outside, as we mentioned earlier, on a rush. So that hole is open. I talked about a little bit ago. We should be able to make some hay in that gap.
2nd down and 2. Oski once again. They are in the Eye Care Partners red zone, and they can see clearly the end zone ahead. Tyler Miller, straight drop, throws. It is caught. That is Will Schultz. He's got it at the 10. Burst forward, 5. Touchdown, Oskaloosa. Will Schultz on the reception from Tyler Miller.
Well, nice catch by Schultz, and no hesitation as he turned and just sprinted right into the end zone. The D-back overplayed the ball or something there, and I don't know if he even got a hand on him.
So Will Schultz, who's been quarterback all year long, missed last week with a concussion, is in as a receiver this week, and Tyler Miller returning the favor to Will, who's hit Tyler a few times this season, and Will Schultz gets a trip to the end zone on the reception side. PAT is good by Aaron Blom, and the Indians are 2 for 2 on offense. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns, and the Indians lead 14-0 over the Newton Cardinals with 3:14 left to go in our first quarter. You are watching Oskaloosa Indian football on the Indians Network, presented by Craig Ford. We're going to take a break, and we will be back with more Oski football right after this here on the Indians Network.
At Clow Valve Company, being the premier place to work is part of our core vision, and this includes helping our local community be a premier place to live. Clow cares and is committed to creating a happier and healthier community. By volunteering in local events and fundraisers. By donating to nonprofit organizations. By leaving a better tomorrow than today. Clow is more.
We are Clow Valve.
We are back at H.A. Lynn Stadium in Newton. Oskaloosa, hot start for the homecoming of Coach Jake Jenkins. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns, 14-0 Indians with 3:14 to go in our first quarter. Again, we have audio only for you tonight. Live video is prohibited by Newton High School. So we hope you're enjoying it here on the Indians Network, presented by Craig Ford. Here's the kick by Blom. It's a high, deep kick into the end zone. Another touchback for Aaron Blom. So Newton will come out first down and 10, starting at their own 20-yard line. So far, they have been unable, for the most part, to move the football against Oskaloosa's defense.
Yeah, they've had a couple decent runs, Jamie, but Oskaloosa's been able to stiffen up there and hold them on third downs, which has been a key. I think they're 0 for on their third down conversions here in the first quarter. So
2 possessions, 2 punts for Newton.
Oskaloosa with a 5-man front. They shift a little bit with the formation. We got a stack formation to the right.
Quarterback Kyle Long in the shotgun is going to keep it himself, and he gets to the corner and cannot turn it. Oskaloosa hits him right at the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Well, that's pretty obvious what they're going to do there. They have 4 guys lined up there. They just snap it to the quarterback and run right behind those 4 guys, and Oskaloosa knows right where the play's going.
Well, they're going to give him a yard, but it's barely ahead of the 20, so I say no gain. Second down and 10 for Newton.
So in there for Oskaloosa right now is Andrew Else, Leland Evans.
Leland Evans, sorry, Doug, 3 fumble recoveries last week for Leland Evans.
So
here's the handoff now, right side, and across the 25. He's going to pick up about 4.5 there.
So that's their bread and butter play, the one they got 12 yards and 8 yards on. Oskaloosa does a much better play on that off-tackle blast, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 4 here for Newton.
Again, they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions in this game. 3rd down and 4 for the Cardinals, just across their own 25-yard line. 1 receiver to the left. Now 1 goes out wide to the right as they shift. Oskaloosa shifting defensively. Motion coming from the right side. They pitch it on the option. That's holding on. Should be holding there. They were holding Isaac Schultz like crazy as they turn the corner there. And it turns into a big gain for Newton as he's across the 40 to the 43-yard line. That's going to be a first down gain of about 16 or so. But I thought Isaac Schultz got held here on the corner. But
yeah, I didn't see that, Jamie, but Newman got across the line really quick there. And then Schultz came across the line. Our safety on this side was slow to react to that, and they got to make a tackle on that play. So they was able to get around the safety and make a big gain on 3rd down.
First 3rd down conversion for the Cardinals. 1st and 10, line of scrimmage now, the Newton 43-yard line, 1:25 and counting to go first quarter. Oski 14, Newton nothing. In the shotgun, Kyle Long looking to throw. Looks right, nothing there. Now looks left. They do throw a flag. He's still looking for room. Gets loose, and Oski wraps him up as he got back to the line of scrimmage.
And this is going to be a big one because it's going to be 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage plus 10 more.
So, again, penalty flag on the field. It's going to be holding on Newton as Doug DeCock saw it, called it, and the officials agree. First penalty flag of the football game. And as Doug mentioned, it's going to be a big one against Newton.
Well, Walker Newman, good motor there by Newman, creates the holding call. So he's getting good penetration right off the line of scrimmage.
All the way back to the 25-yard line. So it turns into an 18-yard mark-off. And it's going to be first down and 28 to go for Newton. Line of scrimmage, now their own 25-yard line. Motion from the right. Quarterback pitches it to him on the sweep play. He turns the corner on the far side and gets out of bounds on the sideline around the 35-yard line. Picks up about 10. It's going to set up 2nd and long. Still about 18 to go for the Cardinals.
Well, decent run there. I mean, that was a 10-yard run, right?
Yeah.
So that's too many over there. Our cornerback got tied up. It looked like, and we're a long ways away. It looked like he might have been getting held on the outside there, but got to get off of the block there and make a play.
They gave him a gain of 9. Sets up 2nd down and 19 for Newton. Just across their own 30, or just shy of their own 35-yard line. Motion coming to the left this time. They pitch it to him on the sweep, and he's going to get a short gain out of bounds around the 39-yard line. Aaron Blom and Isaac Schultz were there on the corner.
Well, that's the same play, Jamie, that they just ran and got a big play on. Our safety has got to come up and make a hit. He came up within about 5 yards, and then he just stopped, and the guy's able to juke him and get some more yards.
William Cheng was the ball carrier for Newton, picked up 6, and it's now 3rd and long. 3rd and 13 for Newton, right at their own 40-yard line. 1:02 left to go. They fake the pitch that time. Quarterback long rolls right, throws on the run. It is caught. First down, Newton and more. He gets away on the sideline. He's into Oskaloosa territory as he gets to the 45-yard line. Big play there by Newton, about 15 yards. As they fake that pitch to the left side, and quarterback rolled right. Good throw on the run there by Kyle Long.
Yeah, we missed a tackle over there, and it resulted in 10 more yards after the missed tackle. So Newton's able to take advantage of some Oskaloosa defensive lapses here, and they're moving the ball.
And a couple third down conversions back-to-back now for Newton. 1st and 10 Cardinals. They are at the Oskaloosa 45-yard line. Oski leading 14-0. Big hit by the Oskaloosa. Oh, ball is loose. Newton dives on it back at midfield. Big hit right at the line of scrimmage on the right side. Football came out, and Newton dives back on it at the midfield stripe, so they do lose about 5 yards.
Well, he lost a yard.
Yeah, they're
going to mark it down. They marked the ball down before the fumble.
Okay. So, yeah, they're going to give him a loss of 1. At the 46-yard line of Oskaloosa, one receiver right. Kyle Long in the shotgun and the pistol. Oh, ball loose again, and Oskaloosa's on it.
Wow.
The Indians jump on it. He coughed it up, and Oskaloosa fell on it. Cody Gunn gets the fumble recovery for Oskaloosa. Cody Gunn, one of our leading tacklers on the season defensively. Cody Gunn makes a big play right there with the fumble recovery.
Well, if you're Newton, this is worst case scenario now. Oskaloosa with the ball again about at midfield. And I think they've started all their drives from the 40-yard line, their own 40 and closer.
Yeah. Well, this is about where we started our first drive,
yeah,
right?
This is right where we started the first one.
49-yard line, just shy of midfield. So our opening possession was a 51-yard drive, and right back there again for Oskaloosa after the fumble recovery by Cody Gunn. Receivers are split to each side. Miller in the shotgun. He hands it off to Wyatt Creer up the left side. He's across midfield, falling into Newton territory at the 48-yard line, picks up 3 for Wyatt Creer, setting up a 2nd and 7.
Boy, I like what I see in that offense. That was a pistol formation with split backs and Will Schultz and Creer on both sides.
And that is going to be the final play of our first quarter. So the Indians with a big first quarter. They're 2 for 2 on drives, and they hold a 14-0 lead over Newton as we head into the second quarter here at H.A. Lynn Stadium in Newton. You are watching the Indians Network, presented by Craig Ford. We'll take a break. Back with your second quarter coming up. Don't go away.
My name is Amanda Seeley, and I've been coming to Dr. Schuster's office for 15 years now. I'm a mother of 3 little boys, and since having them, they've been coming to Dr. Schuster's office in Oski Dental. It's been really seamless. I expected a little few hiccups, but he just has this approach that they're very comfortable again. You're the best. We're going to shoot for being a lifelong patient.
Back here in Newton on the Indians Network, presented by Craig Ford with Doug DeCock. I'm Jamie Brockman. We're live in the Wood Iron Grill press box. Down on the Indian sideline is OVP student Charlie North, and we'll be checking in with him at halftime. He'll talk to Oskaloosa coach Jake Jenkins. So we start the second quarter. And
yeah, we're going to have a block in the back here on Oskaloosa.
Will Schultz carried it to the 45-yard line, but a flag on the play.
And it's going to be a block in the back from about the 48, so that'll move Oskaloosa back and bring up second down and probably, I don't know, about 16 or so.
Yeah, they are
18.
Marking it off right now.
Oh, geez. And
they move it back to the 39-yard line of Oskaloosa.
Well, the block in the back occurred at the Oskaloosa or the Newton 48, and the Indians in a hurry up here.
All right, second down and 20. It's a 13-yard mark off for Oskaloosa. Sets up second and long from the 39-yard line. 2 receivers to each side. Shotgun for Tyler Miller. And Miller fakes the handoff, drops back to pass, and he's under extreme pressure. He throws straight up the middle, and it is incomplete at the 40-yard line. He had a receiver right there, but couldn't haul it in.
Well, our line has done a good job on run blocking, but it looks like Newton is getting a fairly good pass rush. We've been able to get the ball out of Miller's hands, but he's surrounded by Cardinals, so we got to resist up there right at the line of scrimmage because Newton's getting a fairly decent pass rush.
Isaac Schultz was the intended receiver on that last play. 3rd and long now, 3rd and 20 for the Indians. One receiver split to each side. Will Schultz in the slot. Pitch back to Tyler Miller. Miller throwing deep. He's got Holmberg there and just overthrows him out of his reach at the Newton 40-yard line. Incomplete. Boy, that was open, Doug.
Yeah, a little razzle-dazzle there from the Indians. They got 2 quarterbacks. They got 3 of them sometimes on the field, but Holmberg unable to go get that one. It's going to bring up 4th down for the Indians. I do have a score update from that big game over in Washington, and it is 7-0 Washington, 2 minutes left in the first quarter.
Big one there in Class 3A tonight. So for the first time tonight, Oskaloosa will punt the football. And Aaron Blom is the punter. It's a high punt, bouncing at the Newton 30. It bounces straight up in the air, rolls, and Oskaloosa will down it at the 25-yard line. Mason Ford gets downfield to down it. And Newton brings the offense out. 1st and 10. They'll start at their own 25-yard line. Oskaloosa leading 14-0. 11-17 to go in our first half here in Newton. First 2 drives, Oskaloosa pretty much unchallenged, mostly on the ground. And Isaac Schultz on a receiving touchdown from Tyler Miller. First touchdown, Wyatt Creer. Here we go. Newton runs it straight up the gut.
A little fullback dive for about 8 yards for Newton.
Yeah, across the 30.
So Newton has had some success running the ball here in the first half. Some scores, that big Knoxville-Grinnell game. Knoxville jumps ahead 7-0 in the first, and Albia looking to pick up a W tonight in the second quarter, leading Central Lee 35-12.
2nd down and 3 for Newton. 7 yards there on first down. 10:45 to go in our first half. 14-0 Oski. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Under center is Kyle Long. Hands it off, and oh, baby! Oskaloosa wraps him up and slams him down to the turf.
That's Kenny Satimi's signature move. It's a bear hug.
Yep.
It's a bear hug slam, and if he gets a hold of you, he gets him big, long arms all the way around you, and he kind of picks you up and slams you down.
Yeah, he's going to remember that one. 3rd down and 6, for Newton. Right at their own 30-yard line. Motion in the backfield. Quarterback pitches it to him left side. Good blocking out on the corner. He turns the corner. Big room as he turned the corner on the far sideline.
Well, we're not making the plays. Our secondary defense, we're going hard up front, turning the ball carrier back in, but our safeties are having problems coming up and filling in the hole or getting off the blocks.
Well, you said earlier in the pregame that's something Coach Jenkins pointed out is the safeties needed to be aware of that play, and so far Newton's had a lot of success with it as they get the first down to their own 35-yard line. 1st and 10 Newton. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Quarterback fakes a pitch and then goes straight forward, and he gets to the 38, picks up about 3, but there is a flag on the field. Looked like a face mask.
I think it's going to be a 5-yarder, but you could see it from here.
Yeah, it's not a personal foul face mask. That's a 15-yard penalty. This looks to be just a
Oskaloosa's opponent next week, Pella, leading South Tama 14-6 in the first quarter.
Wow, I'm surprised.
They scored.
Yeah, I'm surprised South Tama got on the board that early.
Norwalk leading North Polk 14-7 in the first quarter.
Well, Doug, this is a 15-yarder. 15-yard face mask call against Oskaloosa. That moves the ball into Indians territory to the 46-yard line. First down, Newton, 9:51 to go in our first half. Oski 14, Newton nothing. Line of scrimmage now, the Oskaloosa 46-yard line. 1 receiver to the left, nobody split wide to the right. Handoff to the tailback, straight up the middle, big pile up at the 45-yard line, a short gain of 1. We'll make it 2nd down and 9.
Newton is dominated with seniors at the skill positions, quarterbacks, running backs, receivers. all their stats are going to senior guys. So this is not a young Newton team, and they're starting to grind out a little bit of a drive here.
2nd down and 9 for the Cardinals, just across Oskaloosa's 45-yard line. Again, one receiver to the right, and they give it to the second back through. He gets to the 43, and he is hit and taken down immediately.
Noah Van Velheisen with a nice tackle there.
So he gets about a yard. It's going to be 3rd and long for Newton.
Bobby Opheim coming out for the Indians, and Cale Bollinger going in. So the defense now starting to rotate some people in and out.
3rd and long for Newton. 3rd and 7. Line of scrimmage, Oskaloosa 43-yard line. 8:30 left to go in our first half. Oski 14, Newton nothing. Spread formation now to the left, one right. Motion. They fake the pitch to the left. Quarterback rolls left. He's in trouble. Now he has to run, and he's wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. He got back to the line, and that's it. No gain. It's going to be 4th and long, and I imagine punt team coming on for Newton. We'll see.
I'd say they're probably going to, I would think they'd go for it here. Maybe not, but good job by Oskaloosa on the rollout there, picking up the receiver out in the flats. That's the first time they've done that, but Oskaloosa was able to sniff it out and force the quarterback to run. So it looks like Newton is going to go for it. The play clock is down to 13.
7:48 and counting to go first half. Play clock now at 10 as Newton comes to the line of scrimmage. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7 from Oskaloosa's 43-yard line. Kyle Long looking to throw. He does. It's tipped and intercepted. Intercepted by Isaac Schultz, and a big hit on Isaac Schultz.
They got it back.
He loses the football, and Newton is back on it at Oskaloosa's 40-yard line. Oh, my goodness. Well, Isaac Schultz got nailed.
Well, he didn't see the guy coming. You could see it from up here. He was looking to the inside as he picked the ball off, and he got absolutely clocked from the other side. I thought maybe he'd be able to see him out of his peripheral vision, but obviously he didn't, so Newton gets a break and gets a first down.
Isaac Schultz now comes out of the game. I hope he's okay. That was a huge hit.
Nice job by Newman.
Newman with another big defensive play is going to hit Newton for a loss back at the 47-yard line.
Well, it was certainly a decleater on Schultz, and I think he's just – I don't think he's got a concussion or anything. I think he just got rattled a little bit because that was a bone-jarring hit.
Might have knocked the wind out of him.
Yeah.
Just under 7 minutes to go. That was a loss of 4 on the tackle there by Walker Newman in the backfield. 2nd and long for Newton. Hand it off. Nope, they fake the handoff. Quarterback keeps it, and he gets to the right side, and then stutter steps a little and goes forward across the 40, diving to the 38. Clock continues to run. 6.5 minutes remain in the first half. Oski 14, Newton nothing. If you're just tuning in, great start by Oskaloosa. They score on their first 2 possessions. Pretty much unchallenged, just moved the ball down the field. And they got the 14-0 lead. Now both teams have settled in a little bit. And Newton's punted a couple times. Oskaloosa's punted once. Now Newton moving the football here. 3rd down and 7 at the 38-yard line of Oskaloosa. Isaac Schultz had an interception, and on the return just got clocked. Fumbled it, and Newton got it back. Hand off to the first man through.
Newman again on a nice tackle.
Yep, Walker Newman wrapped him up immediately. Leland Evans was there as well.
He's having a night, number 32 is.
It's going to bring up 4th down for the Cardinals. Ball moved forward about 1.5 yards, so it's going to be 4th and 6. 2nd, 4th down on this drive for Newton. And they're going to go for it again, 4th and 6. Motion from the right side. Kyle Long rolls left. He throws on the run, and it is
out
incomplete.
Of bounds.
Yep, it is incomplete. Defense holds. They take over. On downs, Oskaloosa gets it back. 5:37 to go. First half leading 14-0 over Newton. And line of scrimmage now after the takeover on downs will be Newton's 37-yard line for Oskaloosa.
Well, 5:37 left here in the second quarter, JB. It'd be nice to see the Indians tack another one on before half. I'm surprised. I didn't know the clock started on a change of possession. Well, they just stopped it now.
See Charlie North down there on the Oskaloosa sideline, and we'll check in with him, see if he has any update on Isaac Schultz, who's still shaking off that huge hit after his interception. 1st and 10, Oski. Flags fly at the snap. That's going to be a false start on Oskaloosa.
And that play was going to go. A quick swing to Creer. We had blockers out there, and it's an illegal shift or something.
Yep. So it's against Oskaloosa.
Holy cow, JB. In Washington, 14-0 Demons over, are they 3-ranked, Solon?
Yeah.
Wow.
5-yard mark off on Oskaloosa. Make it 1st down and 15. Football moved back to the 32-yard line. Wyatt Creer in motion out of the backfield. Tyler Miller looks to him and then takes off and runs forward. And Tyler Miller still moving. There was nothing there. He was stood up, and then he bounced a little to the left and found a small hole, enough to gain a couple. As he's out to the 34-yard line, it's going to be 2nd down, about 13 here for Oskaloosa. Isaac Schultz back in the game, by the way. He's wide right. Good to see that. Man, that was a hit on Schultz after the interception. Here's Miller dropping back, looking to Schultz, and he airmails it over there on the right side. Even Isaac Schultz can't get high enough to pull that one down, incomplete.
Well, and if you're Isaac Schultz, you're like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to jump up there and take a shot to the ribs now after I just got laid out the last time.
Remember, Schultz had, I don't know if I want to call it an injury, but I know he came to the sideline a bit last week in the homecoming game with pain in his ribs, or he took a shot to the ribs.
Yeah, ball just sailed on Miller there.
So it's now 3rd and long, 3rd and 13 from the Oskaloosa 34-yard line. Miller drops back, looking to throw again. He's under pressure, rolling left. Need to get rid of it, Tyler. Tyler is in deep trouble and trying to make something happen, and he's going to be tackled for a big loss back near about the 27-yard line. That's going to be a loss of 7.
Well, they have a 3 down front, as we've talked about, but we're having problems picking up these linebackers and these blitzers on passing plays. They're getting some decent pressure against us when we try to throw the ball. We really don't have a lot of time.
So it brings up 4th and 21, and Aaron Blom on to punt for the second time here in this first half for Oskaloosa. Return man for Newton back about his own 40-yard line. Blom with a nice punt. Fair catch called for on the run. And they're going to spot it.
That was a nice
right
catch
at the 35-yard line.
Good
45.
catch. Line drive punt. And the Newton guy ran up and made a beautiful catch, fair catch at the 45-yard line.
So 1st and 10 Newton. They'll start this drive at their own 45-yard line. 4:04 to go in our first half. Oski 14 and Newton nothing. You're watching the Indians Network presented by Craig Ford. We're in the Wood Iron Grill press box here at Newton with Doug DeCock. I'm Jamie Brockman. On the sideline is Charlie North, OVP student at Oskaloosa High School. He'll talk to Coach Jenkins at halftime. Quick handoff for Newton and fighting to get back to the line of scrimmage. Going to be a short loss right there for Ching, the ball carrier. He lost about a yard.
I'm not sure why they think they need to run Walker Newman's side.
Yeah, I mean Newman's just been lighting him up.
Yeah, he's making all the plays over there, and you just keep running at him. So he's having a heck of a first half here. Looks like Blake Westerkamp is in at the other end for Van Velheisen right now. So, he needs to shift over.
Loss of 1 on the play.
Oh, no.
Quarterback keeper to the right. He sees the hole, and he dives across midfield to the Oskaloosa 49-yard line.
Well, our defensive line didn't get in the proper position there, and they were running right there, and they just walled him down inside. And the coach is talking to him right now. He's a youngster. He's a sophomore. So
yeah, they pulled him out, and back in is Noah Van Veldhuizen. The ball is just across midfield for Newton. 3 minutes to go in the first half. 3rd down and 5, Cardinals. Quarterback keeps it again, looking for a hole over on the left side. It's not there, and guess who? Number 32 is there again, Walker Newman.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
And speaking of Newman, he is down on the field.
Well, looks like he's holding his knee.
Walker Newman down with an injury on the field. he has had one heck of a first half for the senior defensive end, Walker Newman, making play after play after play on defense. And right now he is down on the field. And
looks like he's in quite a bit of pain.
It does. Trainer Laura goes out there on the field, and she's checking on him.
I also spoke with him a little bit before the game, and he has a meniscus problem or something in his right knee, he was mentioning to me.
Walker does?
Mm-hmm. That was before the game. So
right now, just waiting to see if Walker Newman will be able to continue or not. He's been, a big part of the Oskaloosa defense tonight.
He's had some unfortunate injuries. I think it was his freshman year. He got hurt the very first game, the first series, and was out the rest of the year, if I'm not mistaken. And then he's just had some unfortunate injuries throughout his career. Let's hope this isn't serious, but it certainly doesn't look very good right now.
No,
he's up.
Finally sits up. And
if you're an Oskaloosa fan, I'm sorry, Jay.
2:44 to go in the half. 14-0 Oski. Stoppage and play here as Walker Newman is injured on the field.
Well, if you're an Oskaloosa fan, the one thing you was hoping for tonight was to kind of get, with a big game against Pella next week coming up, was to be able to get through this game not only with a win, but hopefully without guys getting too dinged up. But
well, Newman is up, and he is going to be coming off the field with assistance. A couple players come out, and they're going to help him off the field. He's putting no weight on that right leg at all. So I don't know if it's the knee or ankle or the leg, but it's the right leg for, well, actually both feet are off the ground here for Newman.
Well, he's a tough kid, so he's not one that's going to lay out there unless he's really hurt. He doesn't like to come off the field. So it's his right ankle or knee. We're not sure yet. We'll see. Maybe.
He takes his helmet off and slams it on the bench there as he wants to be on the football field. 4th and 5 for Newton. They're going to punt it away. Good punt. Fair catch called for and made inside the 20 at the 18 by Tyler Miller. So 2:25 to go in the first half. Oski 14, Newton nothing. Oskaloosa getting the ball back. See coaches and some teammates coming over and patting Walker Newman on the back. And, boy, it might be a game-ending injury for Newman. Hopefully it's not a season ender. He looks to be in a lot of pain.
Yeah, he does.
All right, line of scrimmage is just inside the Oski 20 at the 19-yard line. 1st and 10 Indians. 2:25 to go in our first half. 14-0 Oskaloosa. Holmberg will come in motion from the left side. And Miller is going to keep it himself, and he's going to get swarmed and tackled for a loss at the 15-yard line. Loss of 4.
Our offense is certainly bogged down here. We're not doing anything here the last few drives. It's we got to get it going again.
2nd down and 14. Oski sends 2 receivers left and 2 wide right. Miller will be in the shotgun with Creer in the backfield. Under 2 minutes to go now in the first half. Snap to Miller, hand off to Creer, coming up the left side, and Creer will be hit and dropped just shy of the 20-yard line. So he got back to about the original line of scrimmage where it'll be 3rd and 10 now for Oski, but it looks like the Indians are going to use a timeout here. Or Newton is. Newton is. They want the football back.
Yeah.
So Newton's going to take their first timeout and try to stop Oski on 3rd down and get the ball back with some time, hoping to score before halftime. 1:39 left to go in the first half. Oski leading it 14-0 over Newton. We'll be back on the Indians Network right after this.
For nearly 40 years, Musco has specialized in the design and manufacture of sports and large area lighting solutions. From neighborhood ball fields to international speedways, Musco is committed to providing cost-effective lighting solutions and services you can rely on. For your budget, for the environment, Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
Back at H.A. Lynn Stadium in Newton, we're in the Wood Iron Grill press box here on the Indians Network, presented by Craig Ford. Partnership with MCG, Oskaloosa News, and Thunder Country KIIC in cooperation with OVP at Oskaloosa High School. 1:39 to go, first half. Oski leads at 14-0, facing a 3rd and 10 here, just shy of their own 20-yard line. Newton wants to stop them here and get the ball back. Here, nice razzle-dazzle by Oskaloosa. Miller throws to Noah Van Veldhuizen.
That's Colton Butler.
Yeah, well, no, Van Veldhuizen caught it and then pitched it back to Colton Butler,
who is a lineman.
And Butler gets the first down and more. How about some trickery out of Coach Dowd here on 3rd down?
33 seconds. Nice run by Newton right up the gut there.
So the squib kick gave him the football at the 26, and he's going to gain 13 out to the 39 on first down. So it's 1st and 10, Newton. Clock ticking. They have they are out of timeouts. 20 seconds remaining. Motion in the backfield. Kyle Long looking to throw. He's got time. He airs it up down the field. He's got a man there.
Great defense by Reed Brown.
Yeah, incomplete. It was up for grabs. Reed Brown right there, step for step with the receiver, goes up and tips it away.
Well, and he turned his head also and was able to bat the ball down. So great defensive play by Reed Brown there.
14 seconds remain in the half. 21-0. Oskaloosa leads it. 2nd down and 10, Newton, from their own 39-yard line. Motion in the backfield, and they run that sweep play once again on the left side, and he is tripped up for a loss. They hit him at the 35-yard line. He fell forward to the 37. That's going to be a loss of a couple, and it's going to set up a 3rd and long. And we've got some shifting going. It's going to be the end of the first half. So that'll be the final play of the first half. And what a first half by the Oskaloosa Indians as they lead it 21-0 here over the Newton Cardinals. And here in a minute, we're going to go down to the Oskaloosa sideline on our wireless mic. Charlie North, take it away. Go ahead, Charlie.
So after a good first half for you guys, how do you guys keep coming after them in the second half?
Well, you got to stay focused. On the sideline, I'm over here yelling and screaming. Like, Newton runs the ball well, so when they run play action pass and they throw it, you got to be ready for that one play. They about got one on us right there. Reed had a good recovery. You got to stay mentally in the game the whole time. One play, you can't give up one play because that's what will give them a little life. So that's where you just got to focus on playing this thing for 4 quarters.
What are a couple things that you thought you did really well in the first half?
Our defensive line is winning the line of scrimmage. They're good on the offensive line, but right now we're better on the defensive line. It's going to be a grind. They're not going to give up, so we just got to keep grinding. You just got to keep pushing. You got to win the line of scrimmage, and we have so far.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, that is Charlie North down on the Oskaloosa Indians.
At Mahaska Health, our team is dedicated to caring for you through every season of life. Whether you are in need of a same-day appointment, preparing to expand your family, or about to undergo surgery with our excellent surgical staff, we are dedicated to helping you feel your best, today and every day. Recognized as a top 100 critical access hospital, we are continually driven to enhance the health and well-being of the communities we serve. Mahaska Health.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are at halftime here on the Indians Network, presented by Craig Ford, and we are in the Wood Iron Grill press box here in Newton. As you can see, halftime score is Oskaloosa 21 and Newton nothing. I'm Jamie Brockman, and joined at halftime here by Charlie North, who's come up from the Oskaloosa sideline. Dud DeCock will be back with us here in just a moment. Charlie, you're right down there on the Oskaloosa sideline, so tell our listeners and viewers what you saw there in the first half. First of all, talk about some of the injuries, starting obviously with Walker Newman.
So Walker went down late in that second quarter, and they were looking at his knee. He it doesn't look good for him playing the rest of the game. He was on crutches. He wasn't really putting any weight on it. And they were talking about maybe changing him into street clothes. Also, both starting corners are a little banged up. Isaac Schultz I think that the wind knocked out him a little bit when he got blindside hit on the interception. And Mason Ford was stretching out his ankle. He got taped up. So hopefully they're both decent for the second half.
Yeah, so that was a huge hit on Isaac Schultz, but he sat out a couple plays, came back in, made a big catch there late in the game, and that was where Isaac Schultz had a interception, and then on the return is where he took that big hit, and man, that was a big hit on Isaac Schultz. I'm glad he's okay. I'm sure he's feeling the pain a little bit, though, but what's the attitude like on the sideline? A great start by Oskaloosa, 2 possessions, 2 scores, jumped out to a 14-0 lead, then a little bit of a lull, and then a big answer right before halftime.
Like you said, they had 2 touchdowns early, and then it was really a lot of energy. Everyone was really excited. Then there was a little area where they weren't really doing a whole lot. Newton started moving the ball a little bit, and it got harder for Oski to stop them. They weren't scoring. And then right there at the end of the half, got a big stop, came down in a couple minutes, and got a big touchdown to extend the lead.
Absolutely. So, again, your halftime score is 21-0 Oskaloosa. This is our RE/MAX recap as we talk about things happening in the first half. Doug DeCock is back up here now with us in the Wood Iron Grill press box. And, Doug, great start by the Indians. Your thoughts on that? I mean, we looked very strong on those first 2 possessions.
Well, we certainly did, and it was a good start, as you mentioned.
Hang on here. We got to make sure that mic's on for Doug. There we go. There you go, Doug.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it was a great start for Oskaloosa, scoring on the first 2 drives, but then our offense kind of puttered out a little bit there. That was a huge drive there at the end of the half. Newton calling a timeout, trying to get the ball back, and then we run a little razzle-dazzle play with Noah Van Veldhuizen and Colton Butler. The only downer from that first half is the potential injury to Walker Newman. I did go down. I had to go to the bathroom, and I ran into Laura Norberg, our excellent trainer, and I talked to her just a little bit, and they are a little worried that it might be a right knee ligament. It was going into the game. He had a little meniscus problem with his left knee, so if you're speculating, it's not the best news as of right now, but we don't know for sure, but that's what we're looking at with Newman.
All right, well, let's look at some of the first half statistics. First of all, Oskaloosa with 10 first downs in the first half. Newton with 6. By the way, thanks to Wade Steinlage and Jody, who are keeping stats and keeping things up to date here. On the ground, Oskaloosa with 19 rushing attempts for 124 yards. Newton, 29 rushes for 85 yards. Through the air, Oskaloosa is 4 of 8 for 63 yards. Newton is 2 of 5 for just 18 yards through the air, and they do have the 1 interception. That was Isaac Schultz who got the interception for Oskaloosa's defense. So overall, first half, 27 plays, 187 yards for Oskaloosa, 34 plays, 103 total yards for the Newton Cardinals. Turnover-wise, Oskaloosa again with the fumble after the interception. So each team with a turnover right there. Schultz with the interception, then fumble on the big hit recovered back by Newton. Oskaloosa also, I think, lost a fumble in that first half, so we did have a couple of turnovers. 3 penalties for 30 yards on Oskaloosa, 1 for 17 on Newton. Penalties really haven't been much of a story for really the first time this year, Doug.
No, there was a couple penalties, a face mask, I think, but in an illegal shift. But for the most part, yeah, penalties were not a factor there in the first half.
Some of the individual numbers now on the ground. Tyler Miller, 11 carries, 92 yards and a touchdown. Wyatt Creer, 7 carries for 35 yards and a touchdown. And Miller is 4 of 8 through the air for 63 yards with a touchdown. Isaac Schultz, 1 reception for 39 yards. Will Schultz, 1 reception for 13 yards. They've been lining him up as a slot back. He's been running routes, and Tyler Miller found him for a 13-yard touchdown in that first half. Reed Brown also with a catch for 11 yards. Kyle Long of Newton is 2 of 5 through the air for just 18 yards and an interception. Cody Satterfield has caught both passes for the Cardinals in the first half. Tackle-wise, Cody Gunn with a great half, 6 tackles, Walker Newman is credited with 5, but 3 of those were tackles for loss by Walker Newman. Unfortunately, it looks like he is probably out for the game. Again, as we were talking, looks like a knee injury in that first half. So you look at the scoring drives for the ball game. And let me scroll to find that here. Don't know if I have that at the moment. I don't think we do. We don't have the scoring drives, just the team and individual stats at halftime. So that's a look at the first half numbers. Once again, the biggest number that matters the most is the one on the scoreboard. And Oskaloosa leading at 21-0 here at the half over Newton. So that's been your RE/MAX recap, and we're getting a band is still on the field, and the teams are waiting to come out for their second half warm-ups. They're going to put a few extra minutes up on the clock here before we start. So I'll let Charlie and Doug both talk here. Charlie, what do you think are some keys for Oskaloosa in the second half, or some adjustments maybe we can make to try to put more points on the board in that second half?
Well, talking to Jenkins, he just said it was really important that they keep the offensive line playing the way they are. They're punching a lot of big holes for Tyler and Wyatt and Will to run behind, and it's making it really easy for them to move the ball, and that advantage in first downs is just their offensive line pushing Newton's defensive line down the field.
Absolutely. Doug DeCock, your thoughts on what we need to see in the second half from Oskaloosa?
Well, we're going to get a half to adjust to playing without Walker Newman, and I think that could be a big deal. Kenny Satimi moved out to that end position. They brought Cale Bollinger in to play Kenny's inside tackles position. So some guys are going to have to step up here in the second half. We need to keep our intensity up. But as Coach Jenkins mentioned with Charlie going in at half, he was impressed with our defensive line. Let's see if we can still do it even though Newman is out.
All right. Once again, halftime. It is Oskaloosa 21 and Newton nothing. This is the Indians Network presented by Craig Ford. And we're going to step aside for a break, and we will be back with your second half coming up. Oskaloosa leading at 21-0 over the Newton Cardinals.
Every morning before my family and I head out the door for the day, we tell each other to be the one. It's a challenge we make to each other to step up and show kindness when we have the opportunity. I'm Mike Sitzma, funeral director here at Bates Funeral Chapel. I see families in some of their toughest times. However, I get to see our community at its best through the outpouring of love and support they show those affected by loss. I challenge you to join me and my family to look for opportunities daily to be the one.
Your tickets out, folks. 50-50 raffle ticket time. They're beating South 200.
At Community First Credit Union, there's a lot to see. We build customized financial solutions so you can enjoy the life you want. We make it comfortable to have a conversation about what's important to you, like helping you stay on course to reach your savings goal. And what's important to us all, like helping to support causes that count. See for yourself what See First can do for you.
If you want to save more,
If you want a butcher who knows more,
If you want fewer aisles and more value,
less quantity, more quality,
if you want more of this,
and this.
and this.
This is Fairway, and this is how we do more.
putting our all into meat and grocery.
Putting our all into meat and grocery.
Putting our all and more into meat and grocery.
With 16 bays and several trained technicians, Bill & Ray's operates the finest diesel engine repair and towing service in Southeast Iowa. They perform complete engine repair, electronic diagnostics on all types of engines, drivetrain rebuilding, fleet service, and motor coach repair, along with 24-hour wrecker service with no limit on travel radius. Bill & Ray's will get you back on the road. Bill & Ray's, Highway 23 Oskaloosa, and proud supporter of Oski Indians activities.
My My name is Amanda Seeley, and I've been coming to Dr. Schuster's office for 15 years now. I'm a mother of 3 little boys, and since having them, they've been coming to Dr. Schuster's office in Oski Dental. It's been really seamless. I expected a little few hiccups, but he just has this approach that they're very comfortable again. You're the best! We're going to shoot for being a lifelong patient.
Every morning before my family and I head out the door for the day, we tell each other to be the one. It's a challenge we make to each other to step up and show kindness when we have the opportunity. I'm Mike Sitzma, funeral director here at Bates Funeral Chapel. I see families in some of their toughest times. However, I get to see our community at its best through the outpouring of love and support they show those affected by loss. I challenge you to join me and my family to look for opportunities daily to be the one.
Here's the snap. Miller drops back to pass. He's going to step up and throw. He hits Holmberg right in the hands, and he drops the ball. They would have had a first down if he could have caught it there at the Newton 48-yard line. So a nice pass by Miller, put it right on the money to Holmberg, and Holmberg just couldn't hold on. So Oskaloosa is going to go 4 and out on their first possession here in the third quarter.
All right, thank you, Doug. So not the start they wanted offensively here in the second half.
Well, that was a nice pass, Jamie. Holmberg's got to hold on to that ball.
Here comes the ball. Oh, blocked.
Oh, my.
Punt is blocked. And it's bouncing around on the turf, and it's right around the 27-yard line.
There was 5 guys in there, Jamie.
Yeah, they were. I mean, they brought the house, and nobody picked them up.
They could have picked the ball out before he even punted it. I thought he was going to get tackled before he even punted.
So block punt, and Newton is going to take over with great field position starting at the 25-yard line of Oskaloosa. We're just underway second half, 10:08. Oski 3 and out, opening possession. And then the punt blocked by Newton, and Newton takes over 1st and 10 at Oskaloosa's 25-yard line.
Remember what Coach Jenkins said. He says they're going to keep coming at us. They're going to keep coming with that running game. And we've got to be ready to meet the challenge.
Full house backfield. They hand it off straight up the middle. He's hit at the line, but then the line pushes forward, And he's fighting to get to the 20. He's going to be just shy of it around the 21-yard line. Picks up about 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
So a pretty good run there. Colton Butler was in on defense. Now Bollinger's going to come in for him. Butler was in at one of those tackle positions as Oskaloosa tries to find a good combination to cover for Walker being out with an injury. Satimi at the right end. Opheim, Bollinger, and Van Veldhuizen along the front.
Full house backfield once again, and they fake handoffs. Now thrown to the end zone. It is broken up, incomplete in the end zone. Good coverage there. 2 Indians were there, Isaac Schultz and Reed Brown.
Yeah, well, it was actually Mason Ford over there on the coverage. He had good coverage, but Reed was playing center field, and he was measuring that one up for an interception, and just fell right out of his hands, was knocked out of his hands. So good coverage by Oskaloosa there.
3rd down and 7 for Oski.
The Indians are stacking the box on Newton, just daring them to throw. Good play right there.
Quarterback rolls right, scoots through a hole, far sideline.
He's gonna have first down.
Yeah, he's across the 15 to the 13-yard line.
I thought Van Veldhuizen had the quarterback with the ball. And he had handed it off, so first down for Newton here.
Actually, it's at the 12-yard line.
Yeah.
1st and 10 at Oskaloosa's 12-yard line. 9:21 to go, 3rd quarter. Oski holding a 21-0 lead over Newton. But Newton coming out strong in the second half. Oski 3 and out, first possession, then a pump block. Here's a pitch now on that sweep play. Left side makes a cut, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Newton. Great cut there. Back inside by Chang, and Chang gets Newton's first score of the game.
Well, I'm not sure where everybody's at, but Ike Schultz came upfield, and he turned the runner back inside, but there was absolutely no help in there. And Newton gets a quick score here in the 3rd quarter.
So Newton coming out of the locker room on fire. First score of the football game for the Cardinals, and the PAT kick is up and good. And Newton comes out strong to start the second half as they score and lead 21-7. They held Oski to 3 and out defensively, and then punt block took over around the 25-yard line, and they end up with the touchdown to pull within 21-7 here in the 3rd quarter with 9:14 left to play. You're watching Oskaloosa football here on the Indians Network, presented by Craig Ford. Take a break, and we'll be back with the kick after this.
Every morning before my family and I head out the door for the day, we tell each other to be the one. It's a challenge we make to each other to step up and show kindness when we have the opportunity. I'm Mike Sitzma, funeral director here at Bates Funeral Chapel. I see families in some of their toughest times. However, I get to see our community at its best through the outpouring of love and support they show those affected by loss. I challenge you to join me and my family to look for opportunities daily to be the one.
We are back in Newton on the Indians Network, presented by Craig Ford. We're in the Wood Iron Grill press box with Doug DeCock. I'm Jamie Brockman. On the sideline is Charlie North with our wireless mic. Newton scores on their opening possession of the second half to pull within 21-7. There's a line drive, low kick that Oskaloosa lets roll, and finally they pick it up about the 15-yard line.
Wow, what an unfortunate break. It looked like that ball was going to roll out of bounds. The Oskaloosa player was letting it roll, and it kicks back towards in the field of play, and they have to pick it up, and they're going to be tackled down at the 17-yard line. So
everything going right for Newton here the first few minutes of the second half.
Yeah, deep in our territory. Remember, in the first half, we started almost every drive at our 40 or better.
Oskaloosa needs to answer here just to get the Mo back. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Shotgun for Tyler Miller. It's a high snap, and Miller hands it off. Nice run in there. Big hole. 30, 40, and tackled across the 40. That is Will Schultz. Will Schultz on the carry, and he bursts through the hole, and he is out to about the 42, 43-yard line, and a flag on the play.
We might have a 15-yarder there on the tackle. We'll see. This could end up being a big play.
Huge run by Schultz, about 26 yards.
A little misdirection play, and it really opened up for Schultz.
27 yards out to the 44, maybe, or 49. But the flag
Personal foul, Newton.
Yeah, so tack on 15 more. Big penalty on the Cardinals. Big run by Will Schultz. Picks up about, about 31 yards out to the 49-yard line, and now tack on 15 more with the personal foul against Newton. And Oskaloosa will have it at the 35 of Newton. Huge penalty there on the Cardinals. First down, Oskaloosa at the 35-yard line of Newton. Newton scored on their opening possession of the second half after forcing Oski to a 3-and-out. They then blocked the punt of Aaron Blom, take over at the 25-yard line, and a few plays later score. Here's Tyler Miller, straight ahead left side. Miller is met about the 32-yard line, and he'll be stopped there. Actually, they'll say the 33, so it's going to be second down, about 8 here for Oskaloosa. Clock rolling, 8:28 to go in the third quarter. Oski leading 21-7 over Newton. Two receivers split to each side this time for Oskaloosa. Miller in the shotgun with Creer in the backfield. And Miller on the option. He pitches it to Creer. Flag flies from the backfield. Creer, big turn down the sideline. Creer all the way to the end zone, but there's a flag in Oski's backfield, and I think it's coming back.
They're going to get a holding.
Big run by Creer. Not going to show up in the stats. Block in the back, I think, is what they're calling, Doug. That penalty wipes out a score by Wyatt Creer. Tell you what, penalty aside, when Creer turned the corner over there, Doug, he was just, what a run down the sideline. But again, it will be a block in the back against Oskaloosa. So we're marching backwards now. And instead of a touchdown, it's going to be moved back to the 46-yard line of Newton. 8:08 to go, third quarter, 21-7 Oskaloosa. And it's going to be second down and long, 2nd and 20 for Oskaloosa at Newton's 46-yard line. Two receivers to each side once again. Miller in the shotgun, dropping back, setting up to throw the screen. He throws over left side. It is caught. And moving the ball to about the 42-yard line. Gain of 4 for Noah Van Veldhuizen, the receiver. Again, senior defensive end Walker Newman is out of the game. Went out in the second quarter with an injury to his knee, right knee. He is on crutches on the sideline.
So we got a third down here in 17, Jamie. I'm not sure if we're in two-down territory yet.
Two receivers each, or three receivers right, two left. Straight drop for Tyler Miller, and then he just takes off and runs, gets to the outside, and he's going to be drugged down shy of the 40-yard line. And that's going to be just another short gain of a couple, and it's going to bring up 4th and long for Oskaloosa. Now, the line of scrimmage here is the 41-yard line.
Well,
Aaron Blom's got a big leg, but this would be 58 yards. I don't think they try. Maybe they do. I don't know. Blom is.
They're going to punt.
Okay, you're going to punt?
Some of our linemen got to hold their blocks a little bit longer on pass plays. I mean, we just kind of blocked that time like it was a screen play, and they got to stick with it a little bit longer here.
So Blom on to punt on 4th and 17 from Newton's 41-yard line.
Oh, we were moving. There's something going on here.
Flags all over. It's a fake
penalties.
Punt. Fake punt. Blom throws down the field to Noah Van Veldhuizen. Van Veldhuizen hit hard as he goes to try to make the catch. It's incomplete, but there are flags all over the field.
Oh, no. Newton's going to take over at the 41-yard line. So,
what'd they call?
Well, the penalties declined. That wasn't good from the start. I mean, we had guys running around. The ball was snapped. I'm surprised it wasn't blown dead on the snap, but then we tried the long pass, and nobody was open. Good coverage by Newton, and so Newton's going to take over on the 41 with a first down.
Yep, their own 41. First down and 10, 6:33 to go, third quarter. Third quarter, Newton outplaying Oskaloosa. There's a fake handoff. Long pass, incomplete. There's a flag. That's going to be pass interference. Looks like Schultz might have pushed him in the back there, or is that Ford?
That's Ford.
That's Ford. I think he's going to get called for pass interference for a push in the back there as the receiver went for that long pass.
Well, that's a long ways from here, but it looked like pretty decent coverage by Ford, but he's going to get called for the penalty. And Newton will move into Oskaloosa territory at the 44-yard line.
So after penalties really weren't much of a story in the first half, big story here in the third quarter on both sides. Newton had a big personal foul, and then Oskaloosa now, penalty yards starting to rack up against us.
Well, we come out of the locker room, and if I'm not mistaken, we did this last week against Grinnell. We come out of the locker room really flat, and we just can't do that. There's a good hit by Blom.
Big hit by Blom on a run right up the middle, and he's going to be met.
Now we're going to get a personal foul on Oskaloosa.
Flags flying everywhere again as bodies were hitting the turf well after the play was done. Big hit by Aaron Blom, though, for no gain at the 44-yard line, but another personal foul. Oskaloosa will move it forward 15 more to the 29-yard line of Oskaloosa.
Holy bucks, there was two guys that went. It was like they were blocking, but they went backwards. I don't know. This is a penalty-filled drive. 15, 30 yards on penalties. It's adding up. So Newton now down inside the Oskaloosa 30 at the 29-yard line.
6:12 to go in the third quarter. Newton on the move once again. They run up left side, then to the middle. Big hole. He bursts through it, and he's into the Oskaloosa red zone across the 20.
Well,
about the 19, 18-yard line. Another first down, Newton.
They found something, Jamie. They found some running room inside, and they're going to it, and they just keep pounding away at that until they can break one. So Bollinger going to come in for Opheim. A little more beef up front.
First down and 10, Newton. They run it same. Oh, no, they fake the handoff. And Oskaloosa is going to wrap up Long, the quarterback, and sack him back around the 26. No, where are they?
Schultz and Gunn on the tackle there for loss.
Yeah,
Looks like there's a lot of chirping going on out there.
Yeah, it's starting to pick up for sure. 5:35 to go third quarter. Loss of 2, second down and 12. Ball right at the 20-yard line of Oskaloosa.
So now we got Westerkamp in at the right defensive end. Uh-oh, we look confused. We just look confused on the defensive line.
And Newton looked a little confused, too, there. I think they missed the handoff. Big pile-up at the 25-yard line. Oskaloosa recovers a fumble. And Oskaloosa recovers it at the 25-yard line.
Oh, my, that's a huge play for the Indian defense. Now, they threw a flag. Maybe he was just throwing his flag to mark where the fumble was. I don't know. I saw him throw his flag down on the ground, but they're acting like there's no flag, so it's Oskaloosa football.
At the 25-yard line.
What a break. Good break for the Indians.
Yeah, Newton had everything rolling. Hopefully this will get the offense sparked here. 5:15 to go third quarter, 21-7. Oskaloosa leading over Newton. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Miller fakes one handoff, then gives it to Will Schultz. Will Schultz has been running the ball hard tonight when he gets the opportunity. He's across the 30 to the 31-yard line, gain of 6.
That's the same play they just ran. And what they do is they fake it to Creer off the left side and then give it to Schultz coming back to the right side, and that has been an effective play.
Gain of 6. It'll be second down and 4, Oskaloosa. 2 receivers each side. Miller in the shotgun. And actually they snap it to Will Schultz.
Another penalty.
And across the 35 to the 36, 37-yard line, but I think it's going to be nulled by a yellow flag once again. Schultz had the first down and about 3 or 4 more yards on top of it.
Holding Oskaloosa.
But another flag on the Indians.
Some scores here. Albia 42-18 over Central Lee in the third quarter. Eddyville with a 14-7 lead over Davis County in the third. Grinnell now leading Knoxville 19-7 in the third. Pella 42-6 over South Tama, and Washington leading Solon 21-7 in the third quarter.
Tell you what, Washington is the real deal. We saw that early in the season. But that's big, Washington, on top of a very, very talented, high-ranked Solon team. Here's Oskaloosa on the ground, coming across the 30, fighting to get to the 35-yard line. That's Will Schultz once again.
Well, that same play and big yardage for the Indians going to bring up a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
Of course, Washington had to forfeit a game a couple of weeks ago because they had an illegal player for 2 snaps, or an ineligible player for 2 snaps. Got reported, checked into, and they had to forfeit that game a couple of weeks ago, so they now have a loss on their schedule. Here is the snap, straight to Tyler Miller. Miller up the right side and trying to get to the 40. He's just shy of it. Man.
And that's just that lead play where Creer just leads up the hole and Tyler tucks in behind him. And both those guys are tough players, and they get low. It's hard to drop them for a loss of yardage on that play when they're going straight forward.
First down, Oski. Right at the Oskaloosa 40-yard line. 3:30 left to go, third quarter, 21-7. Oskaloosa with the lead. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And they give it to Wyatt Creer. Creer, left side, is across the 40, forward to the 43-yard line.
Got a lot of ground chuck going on here. Both teams now settling into running the ball. Pretty content. They're making good yardage, so no need to go to the air. Blom now in at a receiver position.
Brings up second and about 7 for Oskaloosa. Miller fakes a couple handoffs.
Wow.
Rolling right. He is in big trouble, and he is sacked back at the 30-yard line.
We had 2 offensive linemen didn't even touch anybody. I'm not sure what's going on down there. But the offensive line is struggling right now.
Yeah, every time, really, other than 1 or 2 times I can recall that Miller has dropped back to pass, he has been rushed hard as Newton is bringing the house. And, again, nobody picking him up.
They're just running free through there.
That's a loss of 12 on the sack. 3rd down and 19. Back at the Oski 30-yard line. 3rd and long. Going to have to pass here. 2 to each side. Nope, they're going to let Miller run it. And Miller, as he tried to cut back to the middle, they grabbed him from behind and drug him down at the 30 for no gain.
Well, we need a good punt right here out of Blom.
Yeah,
and flip the field position a little bit.
Well, if I'm Newton, I'm bringing everything but the kitchen sink here after that punt block last time.
Well, we may go into a different punt formation. There's people, they're going to use a timeout. I was going to say there's people all over the field. They're not even close to in position.
So timeout on the field. 1:36 to go in the third quarter. 21-7, Oskaloosa leads. And 4th and 19, Oskaloosa set to punt the ball away coming out of this timeout. Doug, as you mentioned, right now we need a good punt. So you got to block, you got to hold the blocks, give Blom time to use that booming leg and kick it away. And then from there, really we need a 3 and out on defense, and then the offense has got to drive down the field. You give up a score here into the fourth quarter, and it's a brand new ballgame.
You're flirting with disaster because Newton's found some things that are working right now in the running game. So, yeah, you're right, Jamie. We need a big punt. We need a stop, and then we need a score to make this thing a little bit more one-sided for Oskaloosa. But right now, Newton has all the momentum going.
Yeah, they've had a great third quarter. 1:36 remaining in the third. 21-7, Oskaloosa, and Blom set to punt. He's going to be kicking it from his own 20-yard line. Nice, high, deep punt by Blom. Fair catch called for and made at the 35-yard line of Newton. So that's about a 45-yard punt from where Blom kicked it, which, of course, is about 8 or 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. But, man, that kid can kick.
Yeah, he can, but there was somebody coming once again almost free off the right edge. And we get Tyler Miller. Is he okay there? Yeah. Thought maybe he had a little hitch in his giddy up. But so here we go, defense. We gotta cover up here and start making some plays. We got a new player in there, number 17. Is that 17 on the line?
That's Quan Lewis.
Quan Lewis, so.
Newton has the football. And a big pile up right at the middle, just a short gain falling forward from the line of scrimmage. That hole closed quickly, and a host of Indians, the whole front interior line was in on that one.
Well, we got Westerkamp, a sophomore, in there. What's 17, Quan Lewis?
Yep. Yeah, he's a backup tackle.
So he's in there. That's the first I remember him playing all year.
Played last week a little bit.
Oh, he did?
Yep. Last week was the first game that he was in uniform. Got a few plays. He's on punt and kick team, and he had a little defense last week. But coach is looking for somebody to get the job done, and working so far here as, again, the defense piles up after a short gain for Newton on the left side. Quarterback keeper long, and he gets to the 40 where it's going to set up 3rd and 5. Under 30 seconds to go in the third quarter here when Newton snaps this football.
Well, Gavin Higgins comes in now. He's going to take that tackle spot. Westerkamp in at one of the ends.
3rd and 5 for Newton. Line of scrimmage is their own 40-yard line. Shotgun here for Long. Motion out of the backfield.
Oh, he's wide open in the flat.
And he's going to throw it in the flat. And they've got the first down and more. 45, 50,
gone.
down the sideline. Big run for Newton after the catch. He's deep into Indian territory. Still haven't got him down across the 20. Inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. Oh, my.
Well, I'm not sure if it was a busted coverage or what, Jamie, but you could see it wide open in the flat on the swing pass, and they swung it out there, and there still wasn't anybody 15 yards down the field. And then he split some defenders, and all of a sudden, Newton's in business again.
That's going to be the end of the third quarter, final play of the third quarter, and Newton will start the fourth quarter deep in Oskaloosa territory at the 13-yard line with a first down and 10. 3 quarters complete. Oskaloosa leading at 21-7 over Newton, but Newton threatening as we start the fourth quarter coming up. You're watching Oski Football on the Indians Network, presented by Craig Ford.
Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of the Oskaloosa Indians on the Indians Network.
I'm financial advisor Jennifer Main.
I'm financial advisor Austin Norris.
I'm financial advisor Amber Coffey.
I'm financial advisor Jason Rosenboom.
I am financial advisor Brandon Kane.
I'm financial advisor Michael Bush.
Call us today at 1-800-ED-JONES or visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
Well, touchdown here. This is anybody's ball game.
Edward Jones is a
Right up the middle, looked like Leland Evans helping him out, so it's going to bring up second down.
First play of the fourth quarter. No gain, second down and 10. Newton from Oskaloosa's 13-yard line. Oskaloosa defense. Bendon, we'll see if they break here on this possession in the fourth quarter. Big possession both ways here. If Oski gets the stop, gets the ball back, keeps that 21-7 lead. Newton scores. They're within a touchdown. Here is big run around the left side, turns the corner, touchdown Newton.
They got it going, Jamie.
William Chang, his second touchdown. He's got both scores for Newton. Chang. We just cannot contain the outside.
I think that was the same play. We just collapse inside on the fake to the fullback.
Boy, Chang with both scores for Newton. And now Newton will come on to kick the PAT and pull within one score here at 21-14. The kick is up, and it is good. So, fourth quarter just underway. 11-12 left to go in this football game, and Newton is rocket in the second half as they pull within 21-14. 11-12 left to go in the football game. You're watching Oski Football here on the Indians Network, presented by Craig Ford. We'll be back.
At Clow Valve Company, being the premier place to work is part of our core vision, and this includes helping our local community be a premier place to live. Clow cares and is committed to creating a happier and healthier community. By volunteering in local events and fundraisers. By donating to nonprofit organizations. By leaving a better tomorrow than today. Clow is more.
We are Clow.
Well, Newton, 2 third quarter. Well, actually, that one officially in the fourth quarter, but big third quarter by Newton and start of the fourth quarter, and they are back in this ball game, ladies and gentlemen. 21-14, Oskaloosa leads it. Kickoff coming up here. Doug, we got to move the football. Whether we score or not, we got to move the football, use time on this possession. Cannot afford a 3-and-out.
Well, that's part of where the game is swung is our offensive line has not been able to hold their own here. It's like we haven't even come out of the locker room for the second half. And that's kind of troublesome. There's a little squib kick. Uh-oh. Oh. Okay, it's knocked down and then recovered there. I'm not sure who that was. It looks like Andrew Else. So good job by Else in blocking the ball and then pouncing on it. And Oski will have decent field position at their own 36.
All right, 11-10 left to go in the football game. We're in the Wood Iron Grill press box. Doug DeCock and Jamie Brockman. Charlie North, OVP student from Oskaloosa High School, is on the sideline, and he'll talk with Coach Jake Jenkins coming up on the post game. Oski has got to get something going here offensively. 21-14 Oski, 14 second half points for Newton. Holmberg going in motion from the right side. It's going to be a keeper for Tyler Miller. Tyler Miller zigzagging, gets back to the middle of the field, and a nice run by Tyler across the 40 out to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, once again, there's 3 down linemen for Newton, and they're all 3 just blowing into the backfield right off the snap.
5-yard gain, second down and 5. Just across the Oski 40-yard line.
Looks like a little frustration, confusion setting in here on the Oski offense.
One receiver split wide right. In the slot as well on the right side. Tyler Miller, keeper again. And pushes the pile forward to the 45-yard line. Picks up 4. Very just short of the first down, it looks like. Nope, they're going to...
Well, they need to run that. They just run that play again.
Yeah.
The yardage guy got a little happy there and took off.
As I say, one of the chain gang guys thought it was a first down, and he was on the move, and the official said no. Well, so he's about a football shy of the first down at Oski's 45-yard line, third down and short. And Tyler Miller straight ahead, gets through the hole on the right side, moving forward to midfield. And ball comes loose. Newton says they're on it. No signal yet.
They do.
And they got it. Oski fumbles right at midfield, and Newton recovers. Oh, my.
Well, we talked about it. You got to come ready to play 4 quarters, and we certainly have not been ready to play here in the second half. And Newton now with all the momentum, trailing only by 7, can try to tie this game up.
9:44 to go in the game. Oski fumble right at midfield. Newton on it. Defense has got to fire up and make some plays here. One receiver comes out wide right for Newton. Motion from the backfield. It's that option. They pitch it to him. And he turns the corner, cuts it inside. Big run. He is to the 35-yard line of Oskaloosa, out of bounds at the 34.
Yeah,
17 yards for Satterfield.
We're woofing on tackles here.
They're going to spot it at the 34-yard line of Oskaloosa. 9:27 to go in the football game. Oskaloosa now clinging to a 21-14 lead. And Newton moving once again after the Oski fumble. 1st and 10 at Oskaloosa's 34-yard line. Motion from the right side this time. They fake the pitch to him, and then Long keeps it. Goes straight ahead.
Nice play by Blom knifing in there.
Yep. No gain, maybe a short half-yard gain. Bring up second down and 10. Under 9 minutes left in the game. Newton taking some time here.
Oh, he's going to come up under center.
Yep.
And you could tell he wasn't comfortable with it. He about fumbled the snap, and then he handed it off on just a little dive play, and they only got a couple yards. So trying a little trickery there.
Yep, quick handoff, fullback dive there. Picks up a couple. 3rd and long now. 3rd and 8 at Oskaloosa's 32-yard line. One receiver wide out left. Back in shotgun now is Long. Now they run the motion from the right side. They pitch it to him on the left. That's that sweep play again. He cuts it inside, and he is tackled inside the 25-yard line, but it is a first. No, he's going to be shy of the first down.
Well, they're just getting a hat. They're getting a hat on a hat there, and we're not able to get off of it, and it's going to bring up a 4th and really short, 4th and 1.
Yep, 4th and probably actually less than 1.
Big play here with 7:30 left in the 4th quarter.
Just across the Oskaloosa 25-yard line. Come on, defense. 4th and short, straight ahead. And looks like he got the first down. That's Dylan Farber. He's their short yardage running back. He's got just a couple hundred yards rushing on the season, Doug, but he had 8 touchdowns entering today. And they give it to him in short yardage situations. He gets the first down just across the 25 at the 24.
So Oskaloosa now has Colton Butler in there to try to mend things up at that end spot. He's trying to get his linemen fired up. Coach Jenkins mentioned that the defensive line was not only holding their own but dominating the first half, and that has completely flipped around.
Yes, it has. There's another dive. Nope, they faked the dive play.
Wide
Throw into the end zone. Wide open. Touchdown, Newton. Hodgkin, their leading receiver, with the touchdown.
There it was. Play action pass. And it was wide open to the left side, and a nice catch by Hodgkin. And Newton is an extra point away from tying this thing up.
20 unanswered points in the second half by Newton. They've scored every time. I don't think they punted yet in the second half, have they?
No.
Got a fumble recovery, 3 touchdowns, and here is the PAT kick. It is up, and it is good. And Newton has tied this football game. Oskaloosa had everything rolling going into halftime, leading 21-0. And this second half has been all Cardinals, 21 unanswered points. And we are tied 21-21 with 6:57 left to go in the football game.
Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy is proud to keep the Oskaloosa Indians and their fans safe and feeling good, on or off the field. Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy is the expert in injury care, orthopedics, and sports rehab. Kinetic Edge offers friendly and knowledgeable professionals who will get to know you and your goals to help you get back to doing what you love in no time. Find out more at kineticedgept.com.
Go Hawks! Go Cyclones!
Go to Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa for all things black and gold and cardinal and gold. It's one of the largest collections of sports gear for both teams anywhere in the state. Mahaska Drug has it all. It's a fun store to shop, loaded with ideas to make life a little entertaining, a little more enjoyable, and it's all in one store.
Hawkeyes! Cyclones! Hawkeyes! Cyclones!
Let everyone know with Hawkeye and Cyclone merchandise from Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa. It's big, really big.
21 unanswered points in the second half by Newton, and what a sway of events we have in this football game. 21-21, Newton has tied the game, 6:52 left to play. A kickoff fielded by Oski. They return it across the 25, right around the 32-yard line. All right, they'll spot it at 31. So 6:52 to go in the game, Doug. We've given up 21 straight. Offense needs to move right here. You got to answer. Answer.
Our line's got to figure it out and start hitting some people and moving them back off the ball like they were in the first quarter and then the last drive of the second quarter. Other than that, we have been getting it handed to us on the offensive line.
Quarterback keeper for Tyler Miller. He's hitting the backfield, bounces off of that, and hit again at the 35-yard line and swung down there. Gain of 4 for Tyler Miller.
I think the coaches are almost hesitant to call passing plays because we don't have any time to throw.
Exactly, yeah. So it brings up 2nd down and 6 after the 4-yard gain for Miller at Oski's own 35-yard line. 6:20 left to play in the game. 21-21. 21 unanswered by Newton here in the second half. Snap back to Miller. Keeps it himself. And originally he looked like he was stopped at the 35-yard line. Breaks loose from there across the 40 and all the way to the 45-yard line. That's a 10-yard gain on a play that looked to be dead at the line of scrimmage. Nice second and third effort there by Tyler Miller.
Well, Coach Dowd going with some really basic stuff. He had Holmberg in as a fullback, sort of, and then he was lead blocking along with Creer, and Miller just going in behind. Now Schultz, 2 running backs flanked to each side of Miller.
1st and 10, Oskaloosa now at their own 45-yard line. And that play goes nowhere. Tried to run it up the left side. I think that's Creer. Yep, and he is wrapped up and stopped for a loss. And you just look at Oskaloosa after each play, Doug, as they get up and walk back to the huddle. They almost look defeated. They look exhausted, really. Just not a lot of energy and pep right now. 2 receivers to each side. 2nd down and 12.
Well, in all honesty, this season's down to 5 minutes. You lose this game, you basically the chances at district and playoff are going to go bye-bye.
2 receivers to each side. 2nd down and 12. Miller in the shotgun. Drops back, throws, and it's caught by Reed Brown over on the right side.
Well, that was Will Schultz.
Or Will Schultz, excuse me. And then Schultz uses his legs down the sideline to get to midfield, pick up picks up about 7.
Nice catch by Schultz. There was a Cardinal that came up like a rocket and just woofed on the tackle, and Schultz was able to make some yardage there.
3rd down and 5, Oski, just shy of midfield. Big 3rd down here with 4:38 to go in the game. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Shotgun for Tyler Miller. Miller throws. It is caught by Reed Brown right at the first down marker. He should have it. He was a step or 2 ahead of the first down marker. And then he's wrapped up and dropped. Nice pass play there from Tyler Miller out to Reed Brown, and it is a 1st down Oskaloosa.
Well, if you're Oski now, you can run the clock for, you don't want to snap the ball until within 10 seconds, I would say, because you're about 2 first downs from being in field goal range. No wind right now. The wind's fairly calm here in Newton.
Line of scrimmage, the Newton 44-yard line. 1st and 10 Oskaloosa. 4 minutes remain in the game. 21-21. 21 unanswered by Newton. Snap to Miller. He goes straight ahead. Now back to the middle. Big hole up the middle for Tyler Miller. He's on the run. 20, 10, 5.
2-yard
and out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Couldn't quite hold the angle to get inside the pylon. Big run by Tyler Miller. About 42 yards right there. Sets up a 1st and goal. Oski deep in to the Eye Care Partners red zone.
Whew.
And now,
do we need that?
Tell you what, that end zone has been blurry in the second half for Oskaloosa, but they got a clear view of it now, just like you can have clear vision.
This is going to be really simple. It's going to be Miller behind Creer.
With Eye Care Partners in Oskaloosa, and you're exactly right. Miller behind Creer. Touchdown, Indians. Big touchdown right there by Oskaloosa.
They didn't signal it.
Well, every Indian around the goal line is saying touchdown. I have not seen a signal yet. I don't think they're going to say he's not in.
Yeah, run it again.
Wow, I could have swore he was in. Not quite. It's going to be 2nd down and inches at the goal line here.
That actually hurts Newton because the clock is running. We should run the clock down inside of 10 seconds. And the coaches are waiting. We're going to run the clock down. So that hurts Newton kind of, that play.
I agree. Yeah, they could have saved a lot of time there if they just let him score. So it's now going to be 2nd and goal at about the 1-inch line for Oskaloosa. Tyler Miller left side. There's a touchdown. Touchdown, Oski. Tyler Miller. Officially 1 yard. That is what the doctor ordered right there.
Yes, it is.
2:54 to go in the game. Big answer by the Indians.
Now let's see if our defense can find a stop.
Yeah, we got a little mo. You don't want to give it right back, that's for sure. So 21 unanswered by Newton to tie the game in the second half. And then on the ensuing possession, Oskaloosa, big run by Tyler Miller to set it up. Got a 44-yard run inside the 5-yard line. 2 plays later, touchdown Indians. And Oskaloosa now leads 28-21 over Newton with 2:54 left to go in this football game. You are watching Oskaloosa football on the Indians Network, presented by Craig Ford. We'll take a break, and we will be right back. Don't go away.
If you want to save more.
If you want a butcher who knows more.
If you want fewer aisles and more value.
Less quantity, more quality.
If you want more of this.
And this.
And this.
This is Fairway, and this is how we do more.
Putting our all into meat and grocery.
Putting our all into meat and grocery.
Putting our all and more into meat and grocery.
Come experience Penn Central Mall. With a variety of shops, services, restaurants, and more, Penn Central is the place to go for all your shopping and entertainment needs. Grab a gourmet grilled cheese at Wonder Lunch, shop the latest trends at Maurice's, find the perfect gift at Gardner Collier, or enjoy a night out with ice cream and retro arcade games at Old School Pinball and Arcade. Penn Central also has numerous public events scheduled throughout the year to provide fun for the whole family. Find them on Facebook to stay up to date with deals and upcoming events. Walk, shop, enjoy. Penn Central.
Welcome back to the Wood Iron Grill press box here in Newton. Big answer by Oskaloosa late in the game. 28-21. Indians lead it now. 2:54 left to go in the game. Blom kicks it into the end zone for the touchback. So the Cardinals come out 1st and 10, starting at their own 20. 2:54 to go. Touchdown by Oski into 21 straight points by Newton. Defense now needs to come up with some stops. Newton keeps the ball on the ground. And they're going to advance it out to the 25-yard line. A gain of 5 there. That's Chang again. He's got 2 touchdowns here in the second half for Newton. Picks up 5 there.
We had him right about at the line of scrimmage, and he was able to squeeze through 2 of our tackles.
2nd down and 5 for Newton. And pass it into the flat. Caught it on the run. And he's across the 31-yard line. Tackled by Blom and Mason Ford. Satterfield on the reception. Does pick up the first down. Got just enough.
We haven't stopped him the whole second half.
No. First down, Newton. Just across their own 30-yard line. 2:16 to go in the game. Motion coming from the right side. That's that sweep play. Let's see if we can finally stop it. He gets to the corner. Turns the corner.
Jeez.
High, stepping there on the sideline, and he's out to the 36-yard line. They've run that play probably 25 times tonight to the left or the right, and every time it's a 5, 6, 7-yard plus run. 2:07 to go in the game. Got 5 there. It's 2nd down and 5. He got out of bounds, so the clock stopped. Line of scrimmage is the Newton 36-yard line. 2 receivers to each side. Motion once again in the backfield. Long. Rolling right, throws on the run, and it's incomplete. He had it right in his hands, and then he looked to see where the hole, where the opening was, and he dropped it.
Wow, break there because that was going to be a first down and probably have the ball up around the 45-yard line. So 2:02 left now in the fourth quarter. Big 3rd down 5.
Yeah, that was a great throw by Long on the run. Put it right in the hands of the receiver, but you could see him turn his head and look forward right as he went to catch it. Incomplete. 3rd and 5. 2:02 to go in the football game. A stop here is huge for Oskaloosa. Motion in the backfield.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, Long rolls right. We had him, wide open on the far side. It's caught at midfield. Escapes a tackle at the 40, 35, and wrestled down out of bounds at the 34-yard line of Oskaloosa. Doggone it. Man, we had him in the backfield one-on-one for what would have been a big sack, and he just sidestepped the defender and then threw downfield wide open.
Well, they must have had that play in their pocket because it was wide open again. And we talked about play-action pass, but that guy was running wide open down the left sideline. So Oskaloosa is going to use a timeout here with 1:50 left.
So timeout, Oskaloosa. 1:50 left to go in this football game. Oski leading 28-21. Newton We'll have a 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage will be the 34-yard line of Oskaloosa. So we're going to keep it here during the timeout. And, let's recap some of the things that have occurred in this football game. Oskaloosa had just a lightning-fast start to this game, scoring on their first 2 possessions, marching down the field pretty much unchallenged, and jumped out to a 14-0 lead, took a 21-0 lead into halftime. Everything was favoring Oski heading to the locker room at halftime, Doug. Some of the things in the first half, Walker Newman, senior defensive end, is out with a knee injury. He's on crutches and left in the second quarter. We'll hope it's not season-ending for the senior Walker Newman, but we'll find that out. So that was first half. Second half has been all Newton. 21 unanswered points until Oski just scored a few minutes ago to go up 28-21. Now, Doug, we need to stop here on on this possession. 1st and 10 from Oski's 34-yard line. Minute 50 to go. Shifting around on offense, Newton. Bring a receiver out wide right. Motion from the right side. Long. Pitches it to him in the backfield.
They got it.
Yeah, there's the flag. They got it. Absolutely. They tackled our guy in the backfield and held on to him all the way down to the turf. So this one's
Mason Ford getting back there, and that should be from the 38-yard line, so that'll be a huge penalty.
They'll move it back almost to midfield, about the 48-yard line. 10 yards from the spot. And, they're going to start marching from about... Okay, they're going to move it back to the 48-yard line of Oski. So just across midfield. Replay first down. It'll be 1st and 20. A minute 43 to go in the football game. Oski 28, Newton 21 here on the Indians Network. Oski fans trying to fire up the Indian defense. Quick handoff on the dive play straight up the middle. Ball came out.
No.
Oh, man. That's Kenny Satimi again. That signature move, like you said, Doug. The bear hug and the slam for number 72, Kenny Satimi. I thought the ball came out there as he was flinging him down, but it did not. My apologies. Moves it to the 46. Picks up a couple. Now they run that sweep option play to the left side, and still he gets room over there on the left side. And moves it out to about the 41. Picks up 5.
Got to get about 18 yards in 2 plays here. So if we can, I'm saying 20 yards. 3rd down, 20. So Oskaloosa's defense needs to stiffen up here. Can they get their first stop of the second half?
They just adjusted it. He picked up 4, so it's 3rd and 16. Yeah, Oski defense, an opportunity to pretty much win the game right here. 28-21, Oski leads it. A minute 7 to go in the game. 3rd down and 16 for Newton. Long is back, and he is wrapped up and sacked. He is sacked back at his own 45-yard line.
Yeah, Colton Butler with the sack right there, and what a big sack it is. Now it's going to bring up 4th and a long way. So good job by Butler getting in there and getting some pressure.
Colton Butler with a huge play on defense, and Newton's going to take time out. Tell you what, Colton Butler, Doug, he's a senior, and he has been asked to do a lot of things tonight. He played defensive end a little bit. There he's in there on defense, got the sack. He's, of course, one of the tackles on offense. And earlier in the season, I think week 2 or 3, they switched him to just one way instead of 2. But tonight, they've been putting him in and looking to him, and he got a big play there.
They were just searching for somebody to play along the defensive line that, knew what was going on with the shifts and stuff. And Butler's been in there most of the fourth quarter.
Yes, he has. So we've got 56.6 seconds left to play in the game. 28-21 Oski. Big sack by Colton Butler. It's going to be spotted back at Newton's 48-yard line.
Now what you got to watch here is you don't want him to get the ball in. You want to play center field, but you don't want him to get too much space here. I saw the other night's NFL team on a Hail Mary pass. They blitzed, so you don't have time to sit back there and throw the ball way up. And I like that strategy rather than letting them sit back there, wind up, and throw one way in the air.
All right, 4th down and 28 to go for Newton from their own 48-yard line. Long, looking to throw. He airs it up on the far sideline.
No.
It's incomplete.
That's ball
incomplete. That should be the ball game. We've got 51 seconds to go. Oskaloosa will have to snap the ball a couple of times, and that will be it.
Wow.
As the Indians are going to pull out of Newton with a 28-21 win here after a couple of snaps and kneels in victory formation. Tell you what, the old cliche, Doug, we bent but did not break completely in that second half.
Well,
Newton 21 unanswered to tie the game, and then Oskaloosa wakes up. Big run by Tyler Miller to get us deep into Newton territory inside the 5. And a couple plays later, Miller scores the game-winning touchdown.
Well, we did. We got to drive when we needed it, and we got to stop when we needed it in the second half. So this is going to set up, basically, Jamie, is what is, I think, is the district championship game already next week in Pella.
Yeah, I agree.
It's pretty much lined up that way. To the winner next week is really going to have to falter the last 2 games to not win the district.
What are some of the other scores that you have right now, Doug?
So some other scores. Solon has stormed back in Washington, and they've taken a 28-20 lead. There must have been some turnovers there. Albia 49-18 over Central Lee. Norwalk 42-7 over North Polk. Grinnell now really laying it on Knoxville, 31-7 in the third quarter. Let's see. Pella is not on my list here for some reason. We'll see if we can refresh it. But so Grinnell busts out and lays the smackdown on Knoxville. So, next week is basically the district championship.
Yep. All right, so there's the first kneel down by Tyler Miller, and now we might have to snap it one more time.
Well, they're not counting their timeouts off of the clock. It still says they got 3. I know they don't have 3. They may be done.
Well, here's the deal. I think we have to snap it one more time. There's about 5. They got tenths on the clock. There's like 0.2 of a second difference. No, they're not going to make them snap it. They're going to say that's it. So Oskaloosa walking toward the sideline. And Oskaloosa is going to win this football game at Newton tonight, 28-21. Indians fans, holy cow. They made us nervous and got the old heart rate going there in the second half. But Oskaloosa gets it done in the end. And your final score, we've got some after action going on.
We had a shot taken on the kneel down play.
Oh, there, look. Holy cow. Coaches are trying to shake hands at midfield, and there is a lot of action out there on the field right now that I don't like to see, Doug.
No.
And it's mostly, I'm sorry, but it's mostly coming from the red. Oskaloosa's walking away.
Taking a knee.
Anyway, game is over. Oskaloosa wins 28-21. Congratulations, Coach Jenkins wins in his homecoming here to Newton. It did not come easy. Credit Newton. Huge second half. But Oskaloosa with the one big score by Tyler Miller in the fourth quarter, and Oski gets out with a 28-21 win. We stay undefeated now, 2-0 in district, go to 4-2 on the season. And you are right, Doug, probably sets up what I think will be the district championship game next Friday night at Pella when Oskaloosa makes a trip to Dutch territory next Friday. Charlie North, OVP student, is on our sideline with the Oskaloosa Indians. He's got our wireless mic, and he's going to chat with Coach Jake Jenkins here as soon as he gets the opportunity.
Well, the good thing is, Jamie, we got a chance to see what it's going to be like without Walker Newman for a half. So the coaches will be able to make some adjustments, be able to work on that, and a win is a win.
Tell you what, you also got to look at the big sack that Colton Butler came up with too, that made a huge difference in field position. All right, Charlie North is out there around midfield, and he's going to chat with Coach Jake Jenkins here, but here we go. All right, Charlie, take it away, buddy.
How did you feel about your guys' performance in the second half?
We got outplayed in the second half. I'm disappointed that we got outplayed, but we did enough to come back and win. It was a big game. We did enough. That's all I can say, but we definitely lost the second half.
How do you prevent that from happening again if you get a lead?
We got to play 4 quarters. We let up a little bit. We had some turnovers and we had some things that happened, which was really unfortunate. We just got to keep our heads in the game for 4 quarters if we're going to be a great team that we want to be.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good win.
Much. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you very much. That's Charlie North. He's a sophomore at Oskaloosa High School, part of the OVP program, with us on the Oskaloosa Indians sideline tonight on our wireless mic. So final score, Oski 28, Newton 21. And, Doug, you can't sum it up much better than what Coach Jenkins says right there. You know, hey, we did enough. We did just enough. But if we want to be a great team, we got to play 4 quarters and cannot play second half like that.
Well, they will need to play 4 quarters next week because the Mean Green up the road is got revenge on their mind after last year's game in Oskaloosa. So it's set up. This is what we wanted. It's going to be basically for the district championship next week in Pella. I know it's early, but Oskaloosa's played the 2 teams in the district that we felt like might be able to knock somebody off or contend, and they was able to take care of business there. So good job, Indians. Way to win. I guess I'll say win in advance to set up a big game next week.
Final score, Oskaloosa 28 and Newton 21. You are watching Oski football here on the Indians Network, presented by Craig Ford. I appreciate you, those that stayed with us tonight. We did have some technical difficulties throughout the night. I'm aware of those, and I apologize. We also were unable to bring you live video coverage of the action on the field tonight, as that was prohibited here at Newton High School. But we do thank you for joining us and sticking with us. And Oski gets the win 28-21 tonight over Newton. Oski goes to 4-2 on the year, 2-0, Class 3A, District 7. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back. We'll look at some of the game stats and wrap things up from Newton with an Oski win, 28-21.
If you want to save more,
If you want a butcher who knows more,
If you want fewer aisles and more value,
less quantity, more quality,
if you want more of this,
and this.
and this.
This is Fairway, and this is how we do more.
putting our all into meat and grocery.
Putting our all into meat and grocery.
Putting our all and more into meat and grocery.
If you want to save more,
If you want a butcher who knows more,
If you want fewer aisles and more value,
less quantity, more quality,
if you want more of this,
and this.
and this.
This is Fairway, and this is how we do more.
putting our all into meat and grocery.
Putting our all into meat and grocery.
Putting our all and more into meat and grocery.
Who?
Come experience Penn Central Mall. With a variety of shops, services, restaurants, and more, Penn Central is the place to go for all your shopping and entertainment needs. Grab a gourmet grilled cheese at Wonder Lunch, shop the latest trends at Maurice's, find the perfect gift at Gardner Collier, or enjoy a night out with ice cream and retro arcade games at Old School Pinball and Arcade. Penn Central also has numerous public events scheduled throughout the year to provide fun for the whole family. Find them on Facebook to stay up to date with deals and upcoming events. Walk, shop, enjoy. Penn Central.
Pound in Knoxville.
Rush may be an electrician, but he's hardwired to be a dad. Amy is a stay-at-home mom who keeps her family in motion. Together with Noah and Will, they play tough, laugh often, and love always. An economical home equity line from Midwest One helps Rush and Amy stay in the game. They use portions and save the rest for the next play. When your goal is family, trust Midwest One for simply better banking.
All right, welcome back to the Wood Iron Grill Press Box here on the Indians Network, presented by Craig Ford. I'm Jamie Brockman, joined in the box by Doug DeCock. Charlie North, Oskaloosa High School, was on the sideline for us tonight. 28-21, Oskaloosa win. Doug, you're rattling off some scores here during the break. What do you got for us as far as other scores?
Well, we had Pella with a 63-12 win over South Tama, and the Dutch roll tonight, and that sets up the big matchup next week with Oskaloosa, which in all practical purposes will decide the district champion. Grinnell was beating Knoxville tonight 31-7 at last check. I'm trying to find some others here. my score stream goes in and out. Norwalk 42-7 over North Polk. Albia gets a nice win tonight over. They won big tonight.
Yeah, they put up a lot of points.
Yeah, Eddyville was beating Davis County 14-7 at last check. Solon had stormed back to take a 28-20 lead over Washington. So the Solon Spartans come roaring back and were dominating the second half over there in Washington. I got a friend of mine is at that game and has been sending me reports on it. Albia beat Central Lee 49-18. Pella Christian with a nice win, 54-13 over Pleasantville. North Mahaska stays winless on the year as they get beat by Martinsdale St. Mary's 35-0 for some local scores.
All right, well, let's look at some of the statistics from this football game that are given to us by Wade Steinlage. He, of course, is from William Penn University. And so Oskaloosa, 15 first downs tonight. Newton with 18. You look at rushing yards tonight. 234 yards rushing for Oskaloosa this evening. 166 for Newton. Passing yards, Oskaloosa with 80. Newton with 120. So total yards, Oski with 314 and Newton with 286.
Pretty even there.
It is. You look at turnovers were a big story here. Oskaloosa fumbled 3 times, lost 2 of those. Newton fumbled twice and lost both of them. Penalties. Wade has 7 penalties for 80 yards against Oskaloosa, and probably 5 of those and at least 60 yards of that was in the second half when Newton was beating up on us pretty good. Newton was penalized just 3 times tonight for 42 yards. So that's a look at some of the team-wise numbers from the football game. Looking at the scoring summary for you. Again, Oskaloosa with a big first half, big start to the game as they jumped out quick 14-0 and then held that 21-0 lead at halftime. So with 8:25 to go in the first quarter, Wyatt Creer scored on a 10-yard touchdown run. And that was opening offensive drive of the game for Oskaloosa. 5 plays, 51 yards. Indians led 7-0. Then with 3:14 to go in the first quarter, it was Tyler Miller through the air to Will Schultz. And that was a 13-yard connection and put Oskaloosa up 14-0. That was an 8-play, 60-yard drive on our second offensive possession of the game. And the third score of the first half came with 40 seconds remaining in the half. Tyler Miller scoring on a 18-yard run. And that was a 7-play, 81-yard drive. And Oski went to the locker room with a 21-0 lead. So 51, 60, and 81-yard drives. 20 total plays in that first half for Oskaloosa. That was impressive. That's getting work done pretty efficiently.
That last drive came as Newton called a timeout and was wanting to get the ball back for a chance to score their own touchdown, and Oskaloosa was able to get the first down and then drive it all the way down and score what ended up being the deciding touchdown.
Exactly. So that was the first half, and Oski led 21-0. Now you flip it to the second half, and it's Newton. With 9:14 to go in the third quarter, Will Cheng scores on a 12-yard handoff run and got Newton on the board, 21-7. With 11:12 to go in the fourth quarter, they had a big drive going in the third quarter, and then a couple plays into the fourth quarter, finished it off. Will Cheng again with his second touchdown, 11 yards, and Newton pulled within 21-14. And then they tie the game with 6:57 to play. Kyle Long through the air to Julian Hotchkin, 24 yards, and we had a tie game, 21-21 with 6:57 to play in the fourth quarter. And then Oskaloosa with a big answer with 2:54 to go in the game. Tyler Miller scores on a 1-yard run, and that was a 69-yard, 8-play drive by the Indians. The biggest part of it was a 40-plus yard run by Miller that got us inside the 5, and he finished it off with the short 1-yard run. And that is the game winner, Tyler Miller. And again, Tyler with 2 touchdowns tonight and 1 passing. So he's racking up the TDs this year. Tyler Miller is in his senior year. So that's how we got to the 28-21 final. Oskaloosa with the win. We'll check some of the individual stats here real quick for you before we sign off here in the Wood Iron Grill press box. So A lot of rushing yards tonight for Oskaloosa, led by Tyler Miller. 26 carries, 183 yards, Doug, for 2 touchdowns on the ground. Will Schultz, 4 carries, 52 yards. Wyatt Creer, 10 carries for 40 yards and a touchdown. Miller was 7 of 12 through the air for 80 yards and a touchdown. Will Schultz caught 2 passes for 20 yards and a touchdown. Reed Brown caught 2 for 18 yards. Isaac Schultz, 1 catch for 39 yards. Schultz also had an interception, by the way, Isaac did, but then was just absolutely decleated on his return, blindsided, and fumbled the ball back to Newton. Noah Van Veldhuizen had 1 catch tonight for 3 yards as well. And on the defensive side, I don't have those stats here. I apologize for that. Here we go, defensive stats. Again, I want to highlight Walker Newman. He had a great first half. Unfortunately, got injured there in the second quarter and is on crutches and has a knee injury of some extent. I'm sure he'll go and get it checked here when he gets back home and over the weekend. But hopefully we'll see Walker Newman on the field again this year, his senior year. But Wyatt Creer leads the way with 9 tackles tonight. Kenny Satimi with 8. Cody Gunn with 8. Aaron Blom with 6. Leland Evans had 6. Isaac Schultz and Walker Newman each had 5 tackles. According to the stat chart tonight in Oskaloosa. Again, Isaac Schultz had the 1 interception as well. So, final score, 28-21. Oskaloosa wins. They go to 4-2 on the year, 2-0, Class 3A District 7. Newton goes to 3-3 on the year and 1-1 in district play and sets up exactly how we kind of thought it would be going into Week 7, Doug. District championship most likely on the line next Friday night at Pella. Certainly a winnable game by Oskaloosa next week, Doug. But it goes without saying, can't have any lulls. We got to play 4 quarters next Friday to win that football game, and I know we can do it. We just got to bring it.
Yeah, I think the district is shaping out or turning out exactly how we thought it was going to. Came in here tonight, we felt like Newton, or I did. I felt like Newton was probably a little bit better team than Grinnell was, and that if we didn't play well, we had a chance to lose. And that certainly showed up in the second half as we did not play well, and they took advantage of it. But as Coach Jenkins said, we did enough in that second half to pull it out, and that's all that matters. So they'll be able to regroup. They'll be able to figure out, plug some pieces in there on defense. And, if you're an athlete, next week is exactly what you love. That's why you play the game. You're going to get to play a big game for a district championship. Barring a total collapse in the last 2 weeks.
Absolutely. So, once again, congratulations, Oski, on the win, 28-21 on the road over Newton. Thanks to all of our sponsors who make our coverage possible. We can't do it without them. Thanks to you as well. And, again, I know we did experience some technical issues tonight, so those of you that hung with us, we appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed what we were able to bring you tonight. And, again, not able to do the video coverage from Newton High School. It'll be the same thing next Friday night at Pella. Video is prohibited there. So we will have audio coverage for you next Friday night from Pella High School with our pregame at 7 o'clock, kickoff at 7:30 from Pella High Stadium. So coming up, don't forget, we've got big volleyball on Tuesday night, Doug. Let's talk about that real quick. Conference championship is on the line. Oskaloosa hosting Indianola on Tuesday night in volleyball. Get to that gym, ladies and gentlemen, if you can. If not, we'll have live video coverage for you. You can watch it on the Indians Network. With pregame starting around 6:40 and the first serve about 7 o'clock. But that is for the conference championship. Oskaloosa Volleyball has not won a conference title since 2012, Doug. Don't even know if they've been in contention for one.
Well, that's awesome, and that should be an electric atmosphere there as Indianola comes to town and the Indians try to win the Little Hawkeye Conference Championship.
Absolutely. So if you can't be there, please join us, and we will bring you live coverage. I'll be joined by OVP student Aiden Schmidt in the press box, and we'll bring it all to you live, again, starting about 6:40 with our pregame on Tuesday night for Oskaloosa Volleyball, and then next Friday back on the road to Pella for Oskaloosa Football with pregame at 7 and kickoff at 7:30. Until then, for all of us at the Indians Network, presented by Craig Ford, it's a partnership with MCG, Oskaloosa News, and Thunder Country KIIC. My name is Jamie Brockman, for my partner Doug DeCock and Charlie North. Thanks for watching, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and good night from Newton High School.
At Community First Credit Union, there's a lot to see. We build customized financial solutions so you can enjoy the life you want. we make it comfortable to have a conversation about what's important to you, like helping you stay on course to reach your savings goal. And what's important to us all, like helping to support causes that count. See for yourself what See First can do for you.